I've got a question for all of you. Serious question. If you had one shot, one opportunity to seize everything you ever wanted, just one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip?
His soul's escaping through this hole that is gaping. This world is hers for the taking. Make her queen as she moves toward a new world order. A normal life is boring, but superstardom's close to postpartum. Only grows hotter. Homie grows hotter. She blows. It's all over. These hoes are all over. All on her. Coast to coast show. She's known as the Globetrotter.
Globetrotter. Here we go. You got to finish that. She goes home and barely knows her own daughter.
Yep. Behold your nose. Here comes the cold water. These hoes don't want her no more. She's cold product. Oh, man.
Oh, man. Oh, my gosh.
That's what happens, man.
Hey, we've created a monster, but nobody wants to see monster no more. They want Shady's chopped liver. Well, if you want Shady, this is what I'll give you. A little bit of weed, missing some vodka. Some vodka that'll jumpstart your heart quicker than the shocks when I get shocked at the hospital by the doctor, when I'm not cooperating, when I'm rocking the table while he's operating.
Hey!
Waiting slow to stop debating because I'm back. I'm on the rack and ovulating. I know that you got a job, Miss Cheney, but your husband's heart problem's complicating. So the FCC won't let me be or let me be me. So let me see. They try to shut me down on MTV, but it feels so empty without
Erica. Me, Erica. That is crazy. You got the cadence, man. You got that cadence. Look at you.
That song comes fresh to me because I actually, and I'm proud of it, I rapped this song when I was like 12 years old at my aunt's wedding.
Wow.
Karaoke. I embarrassed my parents and my family and everything, but they were like, what song you want to do? I was like, Without Me by Eminem.
At a wedding.
At my aunt's wedding.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Yep.
Wow. How young everybody was when those songs were out there. It's crazy.
I know. And and when I was young, I just loved Eminem. I did.
Oh, yeah, me too. Hands down, my favorite. The song Brain Damage. Brain Damage. Drugs is what they said I was on. They always said which way I was gone. But anywhere I go, they keep playing my song. Brain Damage. Oh, that was such a good song. I love those songs, man. Love those songs.
Yeah. I mean, if I'm going like hard, or I want to go hard like in a workout, or I'm trying to like get myself pumped up, I've got some go-to Eminems. I try to stay away from some of the, I don't know. He's got some, he's got some bad ones, right? He's got some bad ones that Dark. May or may not agree with, you would say, what a virtuous Christian man is trying to be.
Yeah.
But there are some that are still tolerable, that are, the good pump up songs and all that. So I'll roll with those every now and then.
Yeah. I thought when you wrote the favorite verse to me, I thought you were talking about Eminem, and I'm like, I was like going over it in my head. I'm like, I don't think I can say this on YouTube. I don't think I'm like, I don't know how far he wants to go. I mean, I know he was going wild on my channel when we were talking about stuff. I'm like, I don't know. I don't want to go that hard on his channel.
We're going to be going hard today. Well, you're on my channel now. So
yeah,
we're free game, right? I've been trying to talk in the code words that you talked to. But anyway, hey, hold on. For any of you guys who don't know, this is Coach Colin. Coach Colin, welcome to the Zach Costello Show today. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for blessing us with some Eminem rap on the intro.
Yeah.
Take a minute, take a second, let everybody know who you are.
Coach Colin. I make videos. That's basically it. And I try to be funny. I don't build myself up into too much. I make videos and I try to be funny. That's about it. And I was just dealing with a newborn rash, not diaper rash, newborn rash. So that's about it. I'm a regular person.
you and your wife, you guys just had a baby.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Thank God.
Congratulations to you guys.
Thank you so much, man. It's a wonderful, wonderful blessing. So good.
Yeah, when I was on your show last, I think you guys were expecting any day now, and now baby is here. So congratulations.
Yeah, healthy, safe, happy.
Amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, very, very good. Everything went well. Just now he has this newborn rash, this baby acne, and it's just so crazy. It just scares me so much when I see it. I'm like, somebody said like coach must be tending to his wife and babies. It's like, no, she was tending to me, because like when I see it, I'm like, oh, I start worrying, I start Googling, and then she has to like put my head on straight and like be like, okay, this happened already. We already went through this. We've done this before. I'm like, okay.
How many is this for you guys?
This is our second.
Okay, there we go. Congratulations. Congrats again. That's good stuff.
Yeah.
You guys have some work to do to catch my wife and I. And I mean, we're expecting our sixth. We're expecting our sixth.
When is that? September, you said?
September. Yep.
Yeah. Wow. Good.
We're looking forward to that. Well, we're looking forward to it. I think we're bracing ourselves. We've got my two youngest they keep us on our toes, that's for sure. So we're hoping that this baby is like a little bit more mellow, like our second two. But my wife just went to a sonogram, and the doctor said that that he was moving around like crazy. So we're a little concerned that we're going to get just another crazy one. So
it's good. It's good. Good energy. Good
That's
energy.
right.
Good potential for sports. You want that.
I like the high energy, the disagreeableness. Like I appreciate that in kids. Like I know it can be challenging, it can be difficult, but I feel like you're disagreeable. You don't take what anybody tells you just at face value. You have that level of skepticism and pushback, and I feel like that's a positive trait to have in kids. And I feel like just the system that we're in and the machine that we're all within, they just want us to conform and just do what we're told. But like the disagreeableness and the comfort in engaging with conflict, I actually find valuable in children. I think that should be fostered. We as parents shouldn't take things so personally when our kids maybe are disagreeable or disagree with us. And especially in the education system, like teachers certainly take these disagreeable, especially more often boys, and recommend they get put on medication or taken out of the classroom. But like I think that's something we have to embrace, because I feel like in this world that we live in, especially with, us here in like the alternative media side of things, like that's how we get to the truth ultimately. Like we're the protectors of truth, even though, we're being called demons by our, masters and their mouthpieces like Erika Kirk. That's for sure.
Yeah. That you're right. You're right about the disagreeableness. I like it because I have a girl. My first one's a girl, so I want her to be disagreeable.
Mm-hmm.
I want her to. She already is, very much so. Now she's at the age where she straightens up her back. Like if you say something, she'll like straighten up and she'll go, no, and just start yelling no. And it's like, okay, well, it's like it's good. It's good. It's bad for me right now as a dad, but when she's in front of some guy at some point,
it'll be better for her for the future. Absolutely.
Exactly. Yep. So that and jujitsu, because I'm definitely gonna put her in jujitsu. Jesse on Fire said I should wait until she's 5. So I'm going to wait until then, put her in jujitsu so she can learn how to choke somebody out that's on top of her that she doesn't want on top of her. Well,
especially too, like especially for girls, like they tend to grow first. So really up until early high school, like if she knows jujitsu, she's probably just being able to whoop any guy's ass that tries to come at her.
Yeah. I mean, jujitsu in general, if you don't know what it's like a little language. Yeah. If you don't know what's going on, a small person can just put you under real quick.
Yeah.
Like if you have no idea what's happening, if they let them just get a hold of your leg and they just decide to break your leg, like that's just a thing they can do.
Right.
So
Hopefully
she can do that.
Well, anyway, so congratulations on the baby. I didn't, that's good stuff. I saw someone in the chat. Is this just all going to be about kids? No, it's not. Relax, everybody. But family and children are important, right?
Yeah, super important. So important, man. They're everything. They're the lifeblood. They're the lifeblood of a lot of channels that you watch. You don't even know in the background,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Definitely.
Well, speaking of somebody who doesn't spend much time with their family, let's get to Erica Kirk.
Yeah, it seems like it, huh? Like it's interesting. Like I was just saying on my show, like, Officer Tatum, he's like, you want her kids to live in parentlessness. And it's like that's already the lifestyle that they're in. You know?
That's not what we're calling for at all. We're actually calling for them to we're calling for her to for her to go home and be with the children and carry out her primary vocation
Yeah.
as a mother. That's what we're calling. That's what we're calling this out for. So did you see? I want to bring this up, and I've got like clips prepared, but I know that what might happen with me and you is we might, just continue talking, and then the clips may be relevant.
Yeah.
I wanted to kind of do this as like a co-host type of thing today, but I understand that like what I have prepared, at least from a clip standpoint, they may not happen in the order that I envision them happening in, just because of the way that we can go back and forth.
Okay.
But did you see this community note here? I want to bring this up. Oh, let me get that out.
I
Check this
just
out.
saw this. I just saw this because I was looking at your stuff. Yeah. I just
This
saw
is a great community note. Why does everyone tell Erika Kirk to go home and raise her kids, but no one ever tells Candace Owens to go home and raise her kids? The community note. Candace Owens records her podcast from home studio and has stated that she homeschools her children.
Yeah, right. Good. She's doing
And what
that.
I love there on the bottom is Laura Loomer is the first one to comment. Hypocrisy.
Yeah, hypocrisy. The cat lady of the conservative movement, Laura Loomer.
Dude, Laura Loomer. So one of the things that I think is interesting, because one of the themes that I wanted to touch on with you today, and like I've seen a lot of this, and like again, this is what I want to focus with you on today specifically. But the attacking or the argument of attacking the grieving widow being evil as far as it concerns Erika Kirk, and like how can you be a Christian and do this to Erika Kirk? I think that like many of us who are actually like discerning Christians, I think most of us care about this topic. Christians of good faith strive to avoid sin, and certainly we don't want to be engaged in slander or the unjust tearing down of a widow. Here's the thing. Here's the thing when it comes to Erika Kirk. She is a public figure who's making statements and she's making news and she is fighting for a certain agenda. That agenda that she's fighting for is something that I definitely want to talk to you about today. But two things can be true at once. Her husband died, and that's a tragedy. Like, she is a widow. Erika Kirk is a widow, and that's a fact. Like, she was married to Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk died. So, yes, she is a widow. So that's fact number one. But she can also be, so there's an and. It's not an either or, it's an and. She is of a certain agenda that people don't have to agree with. Like, I don't have to be on board with hers and Turning Point USA's, what I consider Christian Zionist, and now it's infringing on neocon agenda that they seem to be advocating for and propping up. I want to start here with this clip. So this clip that I have for us to begin with today is a clip that just came out, and it's Erika Kirk. She is appearing virtually addressing Prestonwood Baptist Church in Texas for the Make Heaven Crowded tour. Have you seen this yet?
Yes.
Did you cover this today on your show?
I did, but I did it from the aspect of just like how different she seemed. It seemed like she did it in the same day, like just in the same studio session, and it was just how much of a switch up it was, and it just shows like how performative all this is, in my opinion, I think.
Yeah, so what I want to cover from this clip is, first of all, the argument of anybody who criticizes her or has been suspicious about the alternative narrative as it relates to the Charlie Kirk assassination as being demonic. I want to hit on that, but then I also want to hit on the agenda, and especially in particular, like why this Prestonwood Baptist Church in Texas is also an important place for her to be talking about the specific Christian Zionist neocon agenda that she is talking about. But let's start here with this clip, and I'm going to bring this up, and this is where she talks about all of us who are on the dissent side when it comes to the mainstream narrative about Charlie Kirk and about Turning Point USA and about her are all demonic. Take a listen to this.
I'm sorry I'm not able to with you tonight. I am taking some time to be with my family, but I wanted to at least send you a video to just really let you know how grateful I am for all of you and for your support with our TPUSA Faith Make Heaven Crowded tour. We are so blessed to have such a phenomenal team, and you all are so blessed to have Jack Graham as your pastor. But there's a lot going on right now in this world. The noise at this point is palpable. And after Charlie's murder,
I want to stop it there. Do you see how she's talking happily to like she's commenting the community, and then as soon as she starts to talk about Charlie's murder, like her face shifts?
Yeah, definitely.
She goes from like a happy face to just like she like changes her face to just like the mean face.
Yeah, she does this a lot. That's what I was giving that example between the two speeches, I guess you could say, is that, you know, during that one that addressed Candace and Drewski, you know, it was all the mean face. It was like very, like, it's to the point where you see the side by side and it looks like a different person. It looks like two different people. It's very, very odd, you know. Yeah, so she is shifting right now. And again, this is that theater kid type of thing. A lot of people, if you watch a lot of people talk, which I tend to do, it's, you know, a big part of my job, they don't shift like she shifts. They don't shift like this, like what you're bringing up right now. They don't shift that dramatically. So I don't know. Just when I see it, I just go, oh, okay. Like, I don't know.
You're not like talking and then especially when it's pre-planned and scripted. Well, I guess maybe you're more likely to do that if it is pre-planned and scripted.
Yes.
Because when you're going through it, you can be like, oh, I know how I'm going to react here. Like, I'm going to change my tone. I'm going to change my demeanor as you're kind of planning it out. Right?
When you're being coached, this is when things like that will happen. When you are being coached through things, you will start to do that type of thing.
Yeah. It's like, hey, start out here and then you're going to go to here. Right. Exactly. All right. Let's let this keep going because she's about to refer to us as demons. Here we go.
I, like many of you, feel like a revival broke out. And since then, the enemy, the devil himself, I feel as if he's unleashed all the demons all over the place to hijack this revival. And I had a friend of mine tell me, they were like, can you imagine once you get to heaven that the devil is like this little gnome that like hides under a bridge, like this little thing, and you in your head thought it was just like this. I mean, obviously he's awful, but the context of that really put it into perspective. And, you know, I find myself quite often just saying out loud,
we don't know,
even to the enemy, what God has spoken, hell cannot and will not silence. And we are promised that if God has commanded it, no force of darkness can ever stop it. You can war against it, you can mock it, you can try to bury it. But if God said it, good luck.
The whole thing is very odd because, you know, even the part about, you know, the devil being this, like when you get to heaven and you see the devil, huh? What? Wait a second. Is that how that works? I thought
he's not there. Like literally, the definition of heaven is where God is. Like you are in the presence of God. That is what heaven is. The devil is not in heaven. Jesus
is not like, hey, you want to take a look at the devil real quick before you come in here? That's not how it works.
Look at this little Smurf looking thing. Like, hey, like, yo, that's the devil.
Yeah, no. And also within this clip, when she talks about the revival, you do know, because they've been talking about this for a while. They've all commented on this. The revival is Charlie's death. That's what she's talking. When she talks about the revival, it's not just like a revival that's just happening. They talk about a revival that is taking place because Charlie is gone. They're linking those two together. So when she says the revival, you know, happily, she's talking about her husband being gone. So a lot of people don't connect that because, you know, in Christianese, when we talk about a revival, you know, the spirit coming in and people getting their Bibles and going to church, we don't usually connect that to death, or at least not the death of, you know, a mortal, you know?
Yeah. And I think they're totally disconnected from what revival is actually taking place. I think the true revival that's actually taking place is one of a more orthodoxy Christianity when it all comes down to it. It's a revival against what I consider, not what just what I consider, what is the heresy of Christian Zionism. That's what I see as the revival that's taking place. And this came, whether Erica likes it or not, because of the exposure, the behavior of many Zionists in the immediate aftermath of his death, but made especially clear with how he was being treated and the treatment that he received from a lot of the, we'll just leave the term Zionist there, donors that made his life an absolute living hell in the last months of his life, right?
Yeah.
Like, and that shift in Charlie's thinking and the shift that was going to potentially occur at Turning Point USA, even the shift in Charlie's own beliefs, like they were so appalled that he had any interest at all in Catholicism when Candace brought it up. Yeah. And the only reason for that is because that is a threat to Christian Zionism. Like that's the only reason as to why they would be so upset and angry about that. So the revival that's taking place is not one that she thinks that it is. It's not some evangelical Christian Zionism revival like she wants it to be. And what's so interesting about this is that she is talking to Prestonwood Baptist Church in Texas. If you don't know this, this is the largest church in Texas that is listed on that FARA registration, I believe 7643, as a target for the Israeli Foreign Ministry to geofence all of the, I don't know, congregants of this specific parish in Texas, this Prestonwood Baptist, largest parish in, not parish, that's Catholic, but congregation in Texas that's being targeted by the Israeli Foreign Ministry to geofence and to spread propaganda to. I thought that's really interesting that, and we're going to get to more of this because she starts to talk about more of the agenda piece of this, but so that's really interesting that's who she's talking to here. That's who she's talking to. But again, this revival that she's talking about is not one that these Turning Point USA people think it is. I heard Mikey McCoy say something similar, like God wants Erica to be in charge. Like this is like what God is ushering in. I think what God is ushering in is more of it's a spiritual revival for sure, but it's a waking up of this. I mean, I would say anti-Zionist Christians to make a stand and stand up for the actual truth of our faith. Like that's what I see. That's the revival that I see. That's at least what I'm on fire for when it all comes down to it.
We can talk about this here. We're allowed to talk about this here.
You have full permission to talk about. You're on my channel now, man. Like, I don't even know what the code words are. I just mouth off. This is probably the problem with some of my channel growth. But hey, here we are, right? Here we are.
Man, yeah, you're 100% right. You're 100% right because it really feels, especially for me. Yeah, I know I've only been saved like 3.5 years, but it does feel odd that there is this force, right? You're talking about like these Zionists, that this force that can kind of pull Christians and Christianity around as they feel like wherever they need to go, lead them wherever they need to go. It feels really, really weird. And when we talk about, at least from what I've seen, when we talk about Christian Zionists, it kind of, I don't know. I haven't been able to talk this freely about it, but I will say it feels like they are puppets, right? When you talk about spreading the propaganda, using the Turning Point faith pastors, using all of these people that she does the Make Heaven Crowded Again tour, herself as well, they're these odd puppets that are being controlled by this foreign entity. And it's really tricking Christians. It really tricks them.
Yes.
I don't know. It feels wrong. It's fine to be okay with another nation. It's fine to even, love that other nation because of the sites and where Christ walked and all those things. But it's another thing when the government of that nation is what's really pulling the strings. You know what I mean? It's not like this whole thing. It appears on its face like it is an interfaith type of thing, and it's very much not.
Yes,
it is our faith, and then another government, and that government pulls our faith around and pulls the heads of our faith. Not in Catholicism, but definitely within Christianity. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's interesting. It's really making me
this is that is such a phenomenal point, and that is such a great point. This is a government. This is a national government, what I would consider a neocon government, that is using a religious belief to gin up support for that specific government. And that they basically made up a religious belief. They made up a religious belief, and it applies to both Christian and Jews in order to garner support for that specific country. And this is my whole thing. This is my whole problem with, well, it's my problem with Turning Point USA now, especially. And look, if you're going to tell me, okay, but Charlie Kirk was a Christian Zionist, and this is the direction that he had built Turning Point USA to do this, like this is what they stood for. Look, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I didn't know that until Charlie died, to be honest. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that because I do not agree that heresy should be spread, especially throughout America, because it's being spread throughout America in order to prop up and garner support for a nation, for a foreign nation. Ultimately is what that is doing. When Charlie started to shift away from that perspective based on his finger on the pulse of young people and from his own Christian beliefs, that shift started to occur. But when he started to shift away and he started to get heat from all of these different donors and all of this crap for refusing to deplatform Tucker Carlson and refusing to not talk about the things that they were talking about, that's when things got really bad for him. But the thing is, Erica was there for all of it. She was there at the Hamptons intervention. She was there with the call with Bibi Netanyahu. She was there for all of it. She must have seen all of this. And if she knows everything like she talks about, then she would have known that Charlie was getting crap from that whole side. From that whole side for talking about the things that he was talking about and for platforming the people that he was platforming. She knows all this. So how can then she go after he dies, take over this role and just allow this to continue? Why is she not, how could she not come out and be like, look, we're cutting ties with every single one of these donors that made Charlie's life a living hell in the last months of his life? At least do that. You know what I mean? So ultimately what this comes down to is like the heat and the pressure and the backlash that her and Turning Point USA have gotten are from people who have noticed these types of things as far as the agenda goes, but then also because of the lies that they've been caught in and the dishonesty since Charlie Kirk was actually killed.
Yeah. Well said. Yeah, man. Like that is what you would think would happen. They would at least take away the donor, like keep the donors away who were doing this to him. And just in general, the people, supporters that were doing this to him, making his life hell. Because you're right, he would know about, she would know about that. The text messages he was receiving. He said on Megyn Kelly, I am receiving these text messages. He's like, it's not a few messages. These people are texting me on his phone, which means that they were donors and they were close enough to have his personal number. I mean, and this is how you can kind of see that there is definitely something major behind everything, pulling the strings, because even from just a business standpoint, forget about honoring Charlie, even forget about that. Just from a business standpoint, what would make the most sense? To do what they've been doing or to get rid of those donors and say it out loud. There were donors that were making imagine she came out with this speech. There are donors that are making my husband's life hell. I know who you are, and I don't want your money anymore. We're going to lose money, and I don't care. Imagine if she said that. People would lose them. Then this whole thing about her being
I would be a good boy. I would be one of her good boys, like Gary. You'd be sitting here. I'd be here clapping for her. Like, I'd be like, let's go. America's boss, babe. I'm all for it. Here we go. Right.
Then the whole talk about her being VP or going for some kind of, politics, people would be on board. They'd be like, wow.
All right,
like,
damn. All right. Let's go.
Like, imagine she did that. And she's like, let's get rid of these people. And I'm going to look into what was going on. And guess what? I know that he was friends with Candace. He's always been friends with Candace. And guess what? Candace is going to be on the next show. People would go mental. And
Oh my
Tucker's going to
gosh,
be
man.
there. And I saw that he was doing these town halls with young people. We're going to continue to do that. And we're doing everything that my husband was just doing. We're not stopping. If
Yeah,
anyone has a problem with that,
right.
don't support us.
Yeah, and like for her, it's just like, look, like what, and we're gonna continue to do all these campus tours and town halls. Like, look, that's not where I'm best, but we're gonna get somebody out there who can do it, right? Like, like there's some humility there from her too, like acknowledging, like, look, like there are people that have skills that I do. Like, I'm not Charlie. We're gonna have to bring some people in. Like, we're accepting applications for people that can do these campus tours, like whatever, right? Like. Yeah. I've got somebody coming in that can do a good job in operating the company because I've got 2 small kids at home and they just lost their father, and I need to have some leverage so that I can continue on Charlie's legacy, but also make sure that my kids are being raised properly. Everyone would be like, "Yeah, we get it." You know what I mean?
She would go from Erica Kirk to Jackie O. Like that's the kind of status she would have. Like JFK's wife. She would have this incredible stature all of a sudden if she just did that.
Absolutely.
Just did that and said we're not going along with anything anymore. And guess what? It would, Streisand effect type stuff. That money that they lost, let's say it was 10, 15, 20, 30 million dollars.
They'd make it all up. They'd make it all up. And they would become like a truly people-funded organization. Yeah. There's no question. There's zero question that would be the case.
And again, purely from a business standpoint, purely from a business standpoint, what it all looks like, that would be the smartest thing to do. What they have her doing now, it's clearly because somebody is pulling the strings. When you're watching the media, like we have to watch the media so much, and you see people who are just doing dumb things, incompetent things that don't make sense. You're watching Officer Tatum and she gives a bad speech and he goes, "Oh, my mic drop. Oh, the mic has fallen on the ground. Oh my gosh, it's on fire. The mic's on fire." When you see that type of thing, you're just like, oh, like you're a liar. Right. You're blatantly lying. When you see Gary doing his thing and here's 9 lies that Candace told, and like they're all made up. They're all fallacies that he's just throwing out there. When you see that stuff over and over again, you know that there's something bigger pulling the strings, pulling the purse strings, I should say. Because I can't, again, I say it all the time, can't prove that there's a financial incentive, but there's some kind of incentive.
Yeah,
there is some sort of incentive that's happening with Officer Tatum. I've speculated that I think one day he might run. He might run for Congress one day after I forget what Wesley Hunt. After Wesley Hunt has decided he's no longer going to be a congressman for Texas, he might actually run, and maybe that little AIPAC. Maybe they're not giving him money right now, but maybe they'll be able to say, "Hey, we have 100 different senators and congressmen that are going to back you now because we've seen what you've done in the past. We know what side of things you're going to be on." And it's just boom, 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 support. And he just gets in office. Like it could be that. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but there's different ways of incentivizing people down the road,
And now I give you, and this is why this is so cool, because I just have clips prepared and I feel like our conversation was going to guide them. I can't believe I said AIPAC. Oh my God. I give you Marjorie Taylor Greene and Tucker Carlson.
Clear. This is something that is my own conclusion. To become president of the United States, there's deals that have to be made. Otherwise, you aren't allowed to have that power. And you can go president by president throughout time, and especially throughout our lifetimes. And you can look at every single president and look at their career and the decisions that they made. And you can very quickly see that they made their deal to support Israel at all times. Why does the United States of America do that for one foreign country? It makes absolutely no sense. We don't do that for any other foreign country. No other government on earth does. Every single United States president, the vast majority of members of Congress, completely pledge their allegiance. Governors too. We have to include governors and state elected officials. They pledge their complete allegiance to the government of Israel and their purpose and their protection and whatever endeavor they decide to pursue, whether it's right or wrong, whether it helps America or even if it hurts America. They still pledge their full allegiance. They make that deal. And Tucker, I don't care what anybody thinks about me, but I believe that Trump had to make a deal like this in order to become president.
Wow. Well, yeah, I mean, it seems that way. Definitely from the people who he took money from. It definitely seems that way. You know, he wanted to win at all costs. But, you know, that's how it is when you make a deal, you know, when you sacrifice your integrity. I was going to say make a deal with the devil. But, you know, when you make that kind of deal, it's like, I want to be the best looking person, you know, and the devil's like, cool, you're going to be the best looking person for 3 years. And then all of a sudden you're going to fall apart and you're going to have disease and you're going to have this and you're going to live decrepit the rest of your life. There's always a catch. And for the president, it seems like the catch is his legacy. It's like he wanted to win at all costs and the sacrifice is his legacy. Because it could have been a really good legacy.
I agree.
It could have been really, really good. It could have been.
He could have gone down as one of the greatest presidents in the United States.
Easily.
And I believe that I actually believed. I mean, you said the word best when I was on your show. We got hoodwinked, but I believe that it was there for him to be that.
Yeah. It was right there. You know, it's funny. When did that Marjorie Taylor Greene interview come out?
I think it just came out.
Wow.
Either this morning or last night. So what I can say to 3 examples that I can give you that backs what Marjorie Taylor Greene just said. So I think a great example is what is being done to Thomas Massey in Kentucky.
Of course.
Thomas Massey has not taken any money from from our greatest ally, from a foreign country.
That's what refuses. I choose. Greatest ally. Okay, I'll say that.
He refuses to do so. And there is now a coordinated, well-funded campaign to get him out in Kentucky. Mm-hmm. We know that 90% in the 2024 election cycle, 90%, I think it's like 443 out of 523 or 525 members of Congress took money from the pro-Israel lobby. Okay, so they certainly drum up these funds to prop up individuals to get them elected, right? The funding mechanism is there. Also, we have JFK. So that's a well-known, obviously, assassination that took place. He is one of the last presidents to stand up and tell our greatest ally, no. Like, draw a hard line and tell them no. We know that he lost his life. Another president that stood firm in the face of our greatest ally, Richard Nixon. Did you know this?
Oh, no, I did not know this.
What happened to Richard Nixon?
Well, he got taken out pretty swiftly. I know the part about, yeah, I know that part. And I know Tucker Carlson talks about there being a naval intelligence guy. He becomes a journalist. The first case that he gets is Watergate. Like, the first thing he gets is Watergate. It makes no sense. It's like, that's not who you give that to as a very junior level journalist. But that was the first thing he got. And Tucker Carlson does a great breakdown of how he got railroaded. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know this part of it that you're talking about.
There's a lot of clips. There's a lot of clips that you have Richard Nixon going pretty hard and pretty strong against that lobby.
Huh. Wow. I did not know that. That's
I need to look into it more, do some more digging on it. But yeah, I thought that was really interesting. But it's to the point. Like, you have to be of a certain agenda to be at this leadership level, mm-hmm. right? Like, you have to check that box. You have to check that box. And if you don't, they are going to, and I say conspire, I mean, that's the right word to use. They are going to conspire against you to keep you down, to keep you out of it. They don't want any individuals that are going to stand against them. And what's so interesting about that is, what shows how they are so successful doing that is that 90% of our elected leaders not only take the money, but they also vote in favor of this foreign nation.
Yeah.
And we know that because they pass by high majority that the bill that the anti-Semitism bill in Congress. They passed it by a high majority, and then ultimately in that bill it says that any anti-Zionism is anti-Semitism, right? According to the definition. So the majority of members of our Congress voted in favor of that, which is insane. That is insane.
Yeah. Wow. You know, Matt Walsh was actually quite against that when it happened. He spoke out about it pretty vocally. You know, it probably got him probably got a few extra lashes from Mr. Shapiro for sure. You know, he's probably I thought he was going to get fired when that happened, when he was talking about it, because he's like, we already have laws in place that are for this. He's like, we don't need another one that's like this. He's like, we have this, or he's like, this is already in place for you know, people who are racist or this or that. He's like, it's already there. He's like, we don't need to add this to it. He's like, I don't like this.
We don't need to do it. Right.
It's interesting. The I don't know, I guess I'll just say control. But here's the thing though. And I always say this. I always try to inspire young Americans so they can know, like, you can run for Congress. That is a thing that you can do if you want to. You can run. You can do it. You can become a junior congressman. Like, you can get in there. And I really feel like it should be more regular people, because this is clearly happening. It could be because of things that they have on these people, whether it be recordings or, you know, weird things they've done, a Diddy party, get dipped in baby oil, whatever it is. It could be that stuff, but it seems like it's mostly just financial, you know? And if you could really just get some normal people in there and then get them out quickly. Like, I've really floated the idea quite a few times that this should be like jury duty. It shouldn't be you're a congressman and then next thing you know, you're like pseudo royalty for the next 40 years of your life. I don't think it should be that way for senators or congressmen. I think it should be like a pain to somebody that they have to do this. They have to serve, and then they have to go back into regular society. And if they have a bank account that now has $50 million in it, it should be like, how'd you get the $50 million?
Right.
If it seems like you got it in connection to the new position that you had, you go to jail.
Right.
That's it. Like that. I really think that should be happening. I don't think it should just be, because it ends up being a club. It's always been this weird club of people where you look into it and, you know, so many of them claim to be poor. Even JD Vance claims to be really, really poor growing up. And then you look into it and it's like not so much. It's usually like middle class. They try to play themselves off as like being below the poverty line and all sorts of things like that. But in reality, they're all really well off. They're all going to Yale. They're all a part of these weird little society and gangs and stuff like that. And it's just like, I don't know. At some point it has to stop, but I don't see it stopping if it's just like this.
Yeah. And I've thought of like different ways to do that, to make it so that it's not this like glamorous, gonna be famous, gonna have a huge platform, can sell your book, can make a ton of money off social media. So like, I've thought of like, if you are a member of Congress, you know, you would think term limits would work. Like in fair elections, term limits would work, right? But the problem is that these people live in these different districts that they just get voted again and again and again. So it removes the ability to like naturally enforce a term limit just by voting. So that's where term limits might be necessary. But I don't think if we take away the incentives, if we take away the getting famous, building a platform, money incentives when it comes to all of this, then I think the term limits would probably take care of themselves. So like, because when you can't do all that, if you can't get rich from being in Congress, then that incentive goes away.
Yes.
It truly is like you're doing a public service. So like, maybe, okay, fine. You get the salary, you get the $150,000 a year salary, whatever it is, for being a member of Congress, but you have no social media. So you have no social media presence whatsoever. You're not allowed to have any personal social media. Maybe there's some account that they can go on and post for public information. We can figure that out. But ultimately, like if we take away all of those kind of get famous financially, like you can't write a book and sell it while you're a member of Congress. You know, if you want to try to do it after whatever, you know, maybe you can't prevent someone from doing it after their term is up. Take away all their personal social media. Like I think if we have those kind of bars in place, that might disincentivize people from just being in there for their entire lives. And especially when you have people in there in their entire lives that advocate for certain policies and then have kind of back end ties to making money off of those policies. Like the amount of money that comes in from the military industrial complex and from the machine through these government contractors, and then the amount of these U.S. Congress people that actually have ties and financial incentives with these government contractors that then vote on the machine. Like it's just this constant cycle of money making that they just continue to get rich and powerful off of our backs while we sit here. And a great example of that is Eric Trump. Eric Trump has invested in a company that just got awarded a $24 million Pentagon contract. It's like, what the hell, man? Like, no. While your dad is president, you don't get any government contracts. Like, this is ridiculous.
That's crazy. Right? I didn't know that. I did not know that. Wow.
Yeah. Even better, for robotics. So basically to create robots. So it's to take away everyday Americans' jobs, and the Trump family just gets more and more rich off of it all. And they're just like, you guys will be okay. Like, don't worry. It's like, all right, like, here we go.
Yeah. Sam Altman famously said, people will figure it out. They're creative when it came to like people losing their jobs. He's like, I think we'll figure that out. People are very creative. It was like,
oh, okay, thank you.
Shouldn't you have to have a plan if you plan to do that to everybody? Like, I don't know. Like,
they'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's very odd, but yeah, you're right. I know that's what I've been thinking for the longest time. I've been saying that for the longest time, that it should just be like jury duty. It should be a guy named Mark who is an electrician, and he just gets a letter, and he's like, "Damn it, I got to be a congressman."
Right, exactly. Like, I got to put in my time for 4 years or 2 years or whatever it is.
Yeah, make it 1 year. So there's no incentive. There's no chance of him putting his roots into anything, making too many alliances. And again, the audit has to happen after they go back, and they go back to regular life. So everyone who was impacted by him gets to see him.
Yeah,
that's how it should. That would be the best thing I could think of, because Tucker Carlson famously said, he said, if you have a leader that's kind of dumb, maybe not that experienced in something, and you have a leader that's like super smart and cunning. No, or sorry, you have a leader that's dumb, not that experienced, but the leader loves you. He loves you. He loves the people, but he's kind of slow. But then you have one that's super smart, and he doesn't really care about the people. Almost has like a disdain for people. It's like, which leader is going to do better? It's like, yeah, you want the guy who's like cunning, but at the same time, the guy who doesn't know that much, at least his love for the people will guide him. Yeah. And he'll say, okay, well, I can't do this against the people. I can't do that against the people. The guy who's cunning, the person that comes to mind right away is Gavin Newsom. But the guy who's cunning is just going to do whatever he can, because he doesn't care about the people. He's going to do as much as he can for himself, and he's going to step on their backs as much as possible. And he doesn't care what happens at the end of it all. It's just I don't know. I'd rather have regular people. Not to say that regular people are dumb, but yeah, maybe they're not as adverse in the whole thing of politics. But they would sit down and be like, okay, what needs to be done? Am I allowed to do this? Okay, is that stealing? Is that illegal? Okay, I can't do that. I'm gonna go back to my 1-bedroom apartment in 12 months. I can't do what you're talking about. I'm not doing that. Okay. Like, no, I can't make millions of dollars. If I do that, they're going to arrest me. So no, I don't want to do your $1 million thing. Right. Like at least they'll have that in mind,
Right. Yeah. Elon Musk early on in the election cycle, he was talking about an interview and talking about like what an effective government, the two qualities that make up someone who can actually be effective in government. He said, you have to have two qualities, and it's competence and care. And I would, and along the lines of what you just said, I'd rather have someone who cares about people, who cares about America, than someone who is competent, because at worst, the individual who cares isn't going to get anything done. And I feel like that's okay. That's okay when it comes to government, right? Like if you don't get anything done, like if that line is just neutral, fine. Well, your time passes, you did nothing, we'll get somebody else in there, maybe something needs to be done. Ideally, you have competence and care. But if you have someone who's competent that doesn't care, that's where things start to really get scary. And I would say that like a Gavin Newsom is probably someone that falls into that category.
Yeah, definitely. He's a scary guy. If it wasn't for him, I'd probably live in California. That's where I would go probably. If it wasn't for him and everything he's done, I'd probably go live there.
Yeah, well, you got to know how bad he is. If you can force people to leave California, that's pretty hard to do.
One of the most perfect places in the world. And he's just like, okay, the next thing I have planned, feces. There's going to be human feces everywhere. Can we get someone on the feces? I need it everywhere. San Diego especially. I need it all over the place. Can we please get some help here? There's so much of it. It's crazy, man. You go down to California, so much human feces. It's crazy. It's nuts.
The diet is changing to hamburgers that are made with bugs.
And hamburgers made with bugs, more taxes.
And you must cut your lawn with scissors going forward. So yeah, people are like, all right, I think we gotta leave. Like, honey, we gotta get out of here.
More taxes, less water. I want no water. There should be water in there. Empty it out. No waters. I want fires. I want fires everywhere. He just does all the worst things.
Not only do I want fires everywhere, the fire rescue, we are going to shut that down.
Put people who are incompetent in place immediately. I want this all done by the end of the year. 20 billion into homelessness. Make sure nobody can see what happened with the money, and make sure homelessness gets worse. Can we make sure it gets worse after we put $20 billion into it? Is that possible? And feces. Has anybody handled the feces yet? It's just crazy.
And if anybody has handled the feces, you're fired. Because we need it out there.
How can we get these companies to leave? I want Tesla gone. I want X gone. I want all the major companies gone. I want them all out of here. It's just like, I don't know. He's just the worst. But anyway. But yeah, I don't know. When it comes to, I'm going to watch the Marjorie Taylor Greene interview because I know they're probably going to go through some wild stuff because that lady has a lot to say, especially with the way she's been treated.
I want to watch the whole thing. I haven't been able to watch the whole thing yet.
You're talking about Thomas Massey. She's actually the prime example because she was pretty much forced out.
Yeah.
Thomas Massey still has a fight to go through right now. Right. But she was pushed hard, and not just pushed out hard, but also the president himself went after her hard, very, very hard. Yeah. So everybody, all these Zio Rangers that you're talking about that form in the media space, they made sure to make it seem like, oh, well, she's just a quitter. That's what they were calling her. They're like, she's a quitter and she only left after she got her pension. Look at that. How come she didn't leave without her pension? And it's like, I don't know. It was just mind blowing. The way that they were trying to frame it all when it came to her was crazy.
Yeah.
You got Jigsaw on the screen here.
Well, speaking of Zio Rangers, I'm glad you brought that up. See, there's all these prompts that I'm ready for, that I'm ready for. But this gets back into exactly what you're talking about here. So Laura Loomer, if you guys can't see that here, this is the difference between how Laura Loomer treated Charlie Kirk versus now how she's treating Erica Kirk. And we all know what Laura Loomer cares about. So what's interesting here is if you want to try to understand what the direction or the shift is in what Turning Point USA and where Charlie Kirk was taking it versus where Erica Kirk is taking it now, I look no further than how Laura Loomer is treating Charlie Kirk versus Erica Kirk right here. So this post, I'm going to read this out loud. Laura Loomer, she writes about Charlie Kirk. I don't ever want to hear Charlie Kirk claim he is pro-Trump ever again. After this weekend, I'd say he has revealed himself as a political opportunist, and I've had a front row seat to witness the mental gymnastics these last 10 years. Lately, Charlie has decided to behave like a charlatan, claim to be pro-Trump one day while he stabs Trump in the back the next. Turning Point USA was only able to thrive thanks to the generosity of President Trump. On the one-year anniversary of the assassination attempts of Trump's life, Charlie hosted Dave Smith at Turning Point USA's SAS conference, where Dave Smith was able to speak to a bunch of conservative youth at an organization that claims to be pro-Trump. 3 weeks ago, Dave Smith called for President Trump to be impeached and removed from office after his decision to blow up Iran's nuclear facilities. Charlie played both sides of the Iran issue on his show, as we all saw. because he wants to play both sides of the aisle. That is what Laura Loomer had to say about Charlie Kirk, and that is after Operation Midnight Hammer, which Charlie advocated for because he was working against a regime change war in Iran. So because he was doing this, Laura Loomer obviously went on the attack against him, and she's attacking him there for platforming Dave Smith at a Turning Point USA event, and then we all know how she also feels about Tucker Carlson. But, oh, isn't it funny? Erica Kirk is out yesterday, gracing us all with her presence, making her return from spending time with her family.
Yeah.
To bless us with the, I don't even know, the Eminem speech, the Enough is Enough outfit that she gave us all yesterday.
Yeah.
And look at Laura Loomer. We are with you. We are with you. And yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense because it is, we know who Laura Loomer advocates for.
Yeah.
And it is just Zionist business as normal. Erica Kirk not ruffling any feathers as it relates to anything that would oppose the neocon Zionist agenda in America. So, of course, Laura Loomer is going to be with her. Of course she is.
Wow. And that's very, like, when you look at what she wrote about Charlie, the connection she's making there near the end. She goes, on the 1-year anniversary of when they tried to off the president, Charlie hosted Dave Smith at Turning Point USA SAS. Look at the connection she's trying to make. So she's basically saying, how could you invite Dave Smith on the 1-year anniversary of something terrible possibly happening to the president, his ear getting hit, whatever it was, she's making that connection. And the main thing that Dave Smith is, especially at this point, when she wrote this, Dave Smith is not anti the president at this point. Not really, but he's anti that place in the Middle East. He's very much anti that place in the Middle East. But she's like connecting that to Trump at the same time. It's very odd, the connection she's making there. Like as if Trump and that place are connected in some way that we don't see.
Right.
I don't know. Very weird. Very weird that she's saying that,
100%. And what this all comes down to is, again, Laura Loomer will attack anyone who is not of that agenda. She will attack anyone who is not of that agenda, and that's precisely what she goes after people for. She's tying Trump to that agenda here.
Yeah.
And she's criticizing Charlie Kirk for not doing what was in the best interest, or what Bibi Netanyahu ultimately wanted President Trump to do.
Yeah. She is very worrisome. She, like, it's very odd whatever she is, because as far as I can see, she's just like Graham Allen. She's just a bad commentator. That's basically what she is. She's just a commentator who doesn't really have much traction, not a crazy amount of traction. But yet she does get to have an audience with the president quite often, like way more than you'd think. Like, imagine if
crazy to me. That is so crazy to me.
Imagine you heard Gary like, well, I'm sitting down with the president today and I'm going to let him know everything that Zach Costello said about, like, you know what I mean? You'd be like, what is happening? Like, how is that happening? I don't understand what's going on right now. Yeah, I don't know what she is. She seems like an operative. I don't know. Allegedly, maybe, perhaps, but that's what she seems like to me. I don't know.
But ask yourself what you have to stand for in order for Laura Loomer to say we are with you.
Yeah. That's a good point too.
This gets us into our next clip here from the Erica virtual appearance from the Make Heaven Crowded tour. Let's. I want you to see this. Check this out.
And for myself and my family, holidays especially, they hold a different weight now. This Easter, I know it was like weeks ago, but bear with me here because Easter was just a very emotional holiday for myself. And although Easter Sunday is the day everyone usually focuses on, my focus this year actually was on Saturday. Because what I've realized is that there is a kind of faith that only exists on that Easter Saturday. It's really different than the triumphant faith of resurrection morning. and different from the active striving faith of that on Friday, where something is still unfolding and happening. But Saturday's just different. Saturday's just different. Saturday is the day where heaven almost felt to be silent to the disciples. I mean, can you imagine the moment for the disciples? Like, they're scattered all over the place. You have Mary weeping. You have the tomb is completely sealed. Rome thinks they won. Hell believes that it silenced the Son of God.
Did you pick that up?
yeah. As because I'm like, I wanna actually, I forgot to send out a community post for what we're doing right now. But I mean, all of a sudden I'm like hearing, I'm like, wait a second, what is she comparing? Hold on, what is this comparison I'm hearing? Wow.
Well, Rome won.
Yeah.
Rome thinks they won. Like this is, and again, who she is talking to is she is talking to Prestonwood Baptist Church, which is one of the largest churches in Texas, being targeted by our greatest ally.
Yeah.
In order to win over their congregation, geofence, propagandize their congregation on behalf of the foreign nation state of Israel. And she is saying there that Rome thinks they won. She's making the argument that Rome is the one that, historically speaking, crucified Jesus, which to me is like, that right there, what she's doing, that's a slight, it's slight and it's subtle, but it's Zionist propaganda.
Yeah.
I was actually going to give her some credit for like making the theological argument that Saturday during the Easter season, like Good Friday, is a day of sadness, right? It's a day that it's the day that Christ was crucified. Saturday is a day of, it's confusion. It's of confusion, and that like the type of faith that you have to have on Saturday to have believed, like, because like the apostles didn't know that Jesus was gonna rise from the dead, right? Like, or maybe they thought like, all right, he kind of talked about this, but like we're unsure. So it is a day of confusion, which I thought was like, I thought that like she was going to make a decent theological point. I'm about to play the next clip to where she actually tries to land this, because where she lands this is like Saturday being the Sabbath, like Shabbat Shalom. Like, and I'm going to show you this next one. That's where she landed it, which I was just like, gosh darn it, Erica, can you ever just you almost had it. You were almost there. But when she said Rome thought they won, I was just like, no. Who lobbied the Roman authorities to have Christ killed, to have Christ crucified? Like, historically speaking, right? Like, this is a frustration for me. Because this is Zionist propaganda here. And she's about to get into it even more. Because she starts talking about Shabbat Shalom, or she starts talking about the Sabbath and about how important it is and how that day is Saturday. Let me play this. Let's continue this. And then I want your thoughts on it. But pay attention to this. I might pause it and go back slightly, because this is a pre-record, but there's a clip in this. There's an edit in this, and I think it's important. And I want to talk to you about what I think this is about. Take a look at this.
It's that space between complete and utter devastation to deliverance. It's that space between it is finished and he is risen. That's the Saturday I'm talking about. That's the Saturday faith I'm talking about. And I just sat there and I thought, that's where most of life is sometimes lived, if we're being honest, is in that faith of a Saturday. And then I thought of Charlie. I always think of him as word.
Do you see that?
And the intentionality.
That switch of her face.
Watch. This is an edit. Watch this.
And then I thought of Charlie. I always think of him as word.
You see that?
Saturday.
Oh.
And the intentionality and the understanding that you need that Saturday.
She's talking about Saturday, and she's talking about how she thinks of Charlie. And
Mhm.
then there's an edit there. There's a clip out. I think because she starts to go into the Saturday being the Sabbath and the day of rest.
Mhm.
I think two things may have happened. I think two things may have happened, which is either she started to get into the book sale. I think she might have tried to drop a plug for the book that Charlie wrote. And I
Yeah.
think that maybe whoever is in charge of her, whoever is doing the PR for her, was like, you've done enough of the merch sales and the book sales. Like, maybe we just take this one out. That's what I think it was. Or it just got in, or maybe she said like Shabbat Shalom or something like that. It was like a little too like Zionist agenda heavy. And I think that's what they might have clipped out there.
Yeah, they maybe tried to just pull it back. They could have just stopped in general and been like, bring it back to this point. You know what I mean? Like that type of thing. Yeah, that's very interesting. I didn't catch that at all because I watched that this morning, the whole thing, and I didn't catch that little edit there.
Yeah, I'll play it from that edit one more time so you can see. But watch the head move quickly, and then the language is a little messed up. So if you watch it closely, it's subtle.
On Saturday, and the intentionality and the understanding that you need that Saturday. I mean, for us, it's Saturday, so it's sentimental. For everyone else, it could be a different day, but we needed that Saturday in order to operate the rest of the week and to fully detach from the noise of this world and to be able to recalibrate and be focused on the Lord and just be in alignment with his will and his obedience and abide in him. Because God is doing some amazing things in your life, even on days when you feel like he's not. He just is. And I don't want you to misconstrue the stillness for being stagnant, because the same hands that were pierced on Friday are at work unlocking doors no man could open. And this type of Saturday stillness is a victory in the making.
Yeah, so then we get a nice little Erica-ism there at the end.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. Oh man. But yeah, you know, she's not a pastor or anything, but I mean, it's been in the neighborhood. All the pastors of Turning Point Faith have gone to the Middle East. So that's like 4,000. Cornerstone, Calvary, you know, which other ones are like Godspeak? I think that's Calvary, like Rob McCoy, he's a part of.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they've all gone over there many times. And I can't say it's for any financial purpose at all, but there's something there. There's something there where they come back changed, come back with a new tune, with a new breakdown of things. And it's usually away from scripture, I notice. So yeah,
I mean, the state of Israel, I mean, this was made public. They're recruiting 10,000 Christian pastors from the United States in order to fight misinformation about Israel amongst young people in America. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why are they taking Christian pastors to do this? Why is that who they're using? And it's because they are wrapping up, as you said earlier, it's a great point. They are wrapping up the support of this nation, of this government, with religious belief. They've created a religion that garners and protects support for this nation state. And it's infiltrated Christianity. And my concern, and this is ultimately my main concern when it comes to this address here from Erica, to who specifically she's talking to at Prestonwood Baptist Church. You mentioned Calvary Chapel churches. In order to be in the Calvary Chapel network of churches, you have to abide by, I think they're called distinctives. And one of those distinctives is the rapture, which is a fundamental aspect of Christian Zionism. Like it is literally, and this is where my concern is with like a Turning Point USA and the Turning Point USA faith. They have the largest network of evangelical Christian churches throughout America. We have the FARA registration, which lists the company Show Faith by Works LLC, that's going to be operating the largest geofencing campaign in American history on Christian churches to fight misinformation about Israel amongst these different churches. And I've had people actually send me text messages who live in the vicinity of some of these churches to show me what they're actually getting. And it's basically AI text messages of people, of not people, but of an AI saying that they are people and drumming up a conversation about Israel. They're like, hey, do you have some time to talk about Israel? And like you can engage and debate with this AI. So I have people from all over the country sending me these text messages.
No way.
Yes, I'm not joking. Like,
how do you get these texts sent to you? How do you do that?
I asked for them. Like,
no, but how do they, how like, what are they engaged in that they're getting these messages?
This is how it's the geofencing, and they're able to know your personal information. They're able to capture your information and then basically just send you. It's like the same political messages that you might get. Like I get a whole bunch of them leading up to like this special election that just occurred in Virginia. I can't tell you how many text messages I got from just political campaigns. So businesses do this stuff all the time. Businesses, political campaigns, they do this stuff all the time. The problem is that how can a foreign nation do this without people opting in? How can they do this against permission? Like, how in the heck is that allowed? How is that legal? How are we allowing it in America? That's the crazy thing. But Turning Point USA is geofencing every single one of their events. They're geofencing Make Heaven Crowded. They're geofencing. And Andrew Covett admitted they geofenced. They knew how many cell phones were in the area of the Charlie Kirk Memorial. This is just, it's data harvesting. They are just mass data harvesting. And I am very concerned with what they are doing with this mass data harvesting because, okay, fine. Show Faith by Works LLC, they're registered with FARA. Turning Point USA is not. Turning Point USA is not registered with FARA. And my concern is that, again, they're pushing Christian Zionism throughout all of these different places throughout the country. They've got their fingers and hands on college campuses and high schools, etc. And again, my concern is that they are spreading this lie and this heresy, which is damaging to both Christians. It's damaging to people's souls first and foremost, but it's also damaging to America.
Yeah, yeah, because when you're talking about them registering, but we also talk about the 10,000. Well, I was saying 4,000 Turning Point Faith, 10,000. They're recruiting them. They're bringing them over there. They're pretty much getting marching orders, getting training, getting re-education, we could say, and then they're coming back. That's kind of the loophole, is that they might have the training, but they're not from that soil, and their organizations were not built in that soil, and their organizations on paper are not ran by anybody from that soil over there. It's by people who are on American soil. That's the loophole, really. And that's how that's going to go, because it's like they're training, again, re-education. That's basically what it is. If they're re-educating the people like that, what can you do? Can you actually get them registered? That'll never happen. Turning Point Faith, they'll be like, no, Charlie Kirk is from Chicago. What are you talking about?
Right.
Like it's, yeah.
Right.
That's wild.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's like it's an unknown opt-in. So what it's likely, they're likely getting. Well, I don't even know how I opted into getting like the political text messages. I don't know how they find. Like I've never opted into some political website where they can send me text messages with regard to an upcoming election. I don't know how they're getting that information from my cell phone. So there's some way that they're doing it. There's some company that's able to get contact information for people within a certain vicinity or county. I'm assuming that's how they got my cell phone information. But for a lot of these people, like when you go and sign up for an event, for example, like you're giving them your personal information, and like that's how they're doing it. And then they're taking that information as an organization to hit you up with all sorts of, to hit you with anything they want as far as spam, propaganda, marketing, whatever it may be. Right.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, maybe when you voted, maybe you checked something off. Maybe something had to be checked off. Maybe when registration, something had to be checked off. It's usually within that. It's usually within the fine print that none of us read, where they get you. But then again, it's very easy for it to just be, if you don't know, you could just assume what I just said and go, oh, I must have checked something off, or I must have done something, and that's how they have it. You wouldn't exactly think they stole my information from somewhere. Like, that's not usually the thought process with most of the population, right? So that's a hard one. You know, I've been trying to find this whole time, I'm trying to find this clip where Charlie is talking about exactly what we were touching on in terms of being able to judge a government and still having love for the place, because that's the point he was getting to. That's the I have it in a video. I actually have this video. I made it November 18th, so really early in the whole investigation thing, and it's all the clips of Charlie talking about things that align with Candace. It's basically just a video I was making about how close he was to really aligning with Candace before he passed. And that's one of the clips where he's talking about, like, I can judge a government. He's like, I should be able to. He's like, I'm an American. He's like, I should be able to judge this government and still love the place. That doesn't make me a bad person, does it? And the person interviewing him was like, no. And he's like, well, then why am I getting branded as this anti person when I do that? He's like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, we should be able to do that kind of thing. I found that very interesting, because that's the point he was getting to. And then also, when you talk about Catholicism, correct me if I'm wrong, the issue with, quote unquote issue, is that the Catholics have they feel a new covenant. They don't have that. They don't, correct me if I'm wrong, they don't have this special outlook on Israel. They kind of have this new covenant that they have with God. Is that along the lines? Am I getting that right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, we believe ultimately what I would say the Orthodox Christian belief. So I would say it's not just Catholics, it's Christians, even all the way up through the Protestant Reformation. We believed in what's called supersessionism, which is that Jesus is the fulfillment of the old law of the Jewish religion. Ultimately, Jesus came and fulfilled the old law. So that's it's the better way to think of it is fulfillment theology. So people will come up and be like, well, no, what you're talking about is replacement theology, that the church or that Christianity replaces Judaism. I reject the premise of replacement theology outright, because that was created by ultimately Jews or Zionists for them to say that that's actually false. Like, no, the correct interpretation or the correct teaching or the correct doctrine is that Jesus came and fulfilled the old law. He perfected it. He fulfilled it, right? It's the new way. It's the new way that is available and open to all people, not just the chosen people. The Jews were chosen. Israel, the biblical Israel was chosen so that Jesus, the Messiah, could enter into the world. And when Jesus, the Messiah, came and entered the world, that way that he established, which is referred to as Christianity, is actually the fulfillment of that Jewish religion.
And then I guess this is the part that everybody, when Candace did say he was moving towards Catholicism, this is why everybody got so activated towards it, got so negatively activated towards it, because that would be him furthering himself from that evangelical Zio Ranger type of stance, I guess, but not just in a political sense, but more in a religious sense, which is, arguably, for sure, in my mind, way deeper.
Yes. So, and that is the argument that ultimately the less evangelical, I would say the less Christian Zionists, because there are evangelicals that don't ascribe to Christian Zionism, but it was a turn away from that Christian Zionism that believes that the state of Israel, the current nation state of Israel, is in fact also the biblical Israel. And I don't believe that. So as far as like the promises or the promised land, God, people, the argument that you always hear is like, well, God always keeps his promises. Like, God's promises can't be broken. And I would 100% agree with that. I would 100% agree that God does keep his promises, and God promised Israel the Messiah, and the Messiah did come, and the purpose of the land was so that the Messiah could come to that place and in that time. When Jesus came, he established a new spiritual kingdom. He established a new way, a new order, I guess you can say. And the Jews at the time rejected that. So the Jews that accepted Christ just eventually just continued in the new way that was established. And I'm saying the way intentionally, because the first Christians, they described themselves as following the way. That's how they describe it in Acts of the Apostles. It was in Antioch that the Jews and the Romans there described them as Christians, people who said that they followed Christ. So that name is how eventually the Christian name was adopted. I think Acts of the Apostles said it was first in Antioch that they were then called Christians, but that was to identify this group of people that were following what they referred to as themselves, this new way that leads to life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. So I would imagine that they were calling themselves followers of this way in line with what Jesus had described to them. But it was the Jews who rejected Christ as the Messiah. So those that would have had Christ killed, and Saul, before he became Paul, he was in that camp. He was one of the ones that was persecuting, killing the first Christians, because he believed that it was a heresy that needed to be rooted out. You always hear the early church, they were hiding in fear of, this is my beef with Erika Kirk, were they hiding in fear of Rome? Everybody, were they do you read in the Gospels that they were hiding in fear of Rome? No. They were hiding in fear of a certain group, lest I be called anti-Semitic. My goodness. But here we are. But what this all comes down to is here's the thing, though, because here's what we believe. We believe that, and this is in line with what the early Christians believed too. Just because someone didn't accept Christ as the Messiah, the whole purpose of early Christianity and what the work that the apostles were doing was to win over those through love, those who did not accept Christ as the Messiah. The telling of the good news, the gospel, was that, hey, everybody, like the Messiah that was promised to us came. The Messiah that was promised to us came. He rose from the dead. This is extraordinary. Like, we all have access to this new way of life that is of love and peace, and we don't have to bound ourselves to this crazy law. We don't have to do all this sacrifice anymore. Like, Jesus came, this Messiah came, and we're free from all of this. We're free. Like, we're free in love. Like, this is incredible. We have a way to become saints. We have a way to become like God ourselves. And that is incredible news. And
the good news.
That's the good news. That is the gospel. You haven't, and everyone has access to it. It's a universal way. It's not just for a specific group or a select few, right? It's open to everybody. And this is incredible news. And what happened is that it was their responsibility to then win over through love. And that has always been the case for Christians throughout our history. Just because someone is Jewish and hasn't accepted Christ as the Messiah, like, just because Ben Shapiro is Jewish, like, I don't have judgment or hate in my heart because Ben Shapiro is Jewish. I consider it my mission and my responsibility to just do the best I can to win him over. And that's the case for anybody. That is the vocation and the requirement for every single Christian, to win over through love. That's it. That's it. We don't hate. So, like, just to put the final point on this, when it comes to our relationship with Israel, if you want to sit here and have an objective conversation separate from any religious belief or any religious gaslighting that they are chosen or that we are required to, lest we be cursed. If we want to have an objective argument, as an American citizen, about this other foreign country being a positive benefit in the relation of, or as it pertains to, American foreign policy, let's have an objective argument. Let's leave all the religion out. Let's leave all of the gaslighting and the lobbying out of it. Let's have a straight up objective conversation. This is why I think it's very interesting that someone like Tucker Carlson is looking for a different objective ally. This is why he gets so much crap for Qatar. This is why they call him a jihadist. This is why they do.
Yeah.
Because he's just simply looking for an alternative ally in the Middle East that we can have as an objective ally. And that's interesting. That is an interesting political move that he is making there.
So, and that's a good point. But when you were talking about before, so isn't that kind of the reason, the whole winning people over in love? Isn't that kind of the reason for the 4,000 pastors, 10,000 pastors going over, and then the thousands upon thousands believing what they say when they come back? It's kind of enabling that, not to say, I don't know how to put it, but if you're trying to win over in love, which you should, I'm not saying that shouldn't happen, but it makes more sense when you see so many pastors go over, they come back, and then what they say is becoming gospel, even if it is marching orders from another place. It's because, the way is to win over in love. And even those pastors going over there might have that in mind of, I'm going to win over in love, and these are our guys, and we can go over there and we can hear them out. And is that, how much money is that? And then, we all of a sudden, it's like this whole thing happens. I don't know how to put it, but it kind of makes sense. I don't know. I don't want to say you get a little soft, but yeah, maybe they go over there thinking, well, we can win over in love, and these are our brothers, and this is the Holy Land. And then they come back over with marching orders, thinking that it's okay to espouse the type of things they come back espousing.
But they do think that. I mean, the thing is like, yes, they think it's the truth, and that's fine. That's fine. Like, here's the thing: they can think it's the truth, and this is where like the free speech and the free exchange of ideas should be had and must be had. Here's the problem. Because you're right. They believe it's the truth, and they believe that they're going to go there and be told what the truth is and come back equipped to tell everybody in America the truth. But the problem is I don't think that's the truth. So we need to be able to hash that out in America through the mechanism of free speech. How damaging is that someone with my perspective, I have to be careful having this conversation with you, lest I be deemed an anti-Semitic, lest YouTube censors this video.
Yeah.
That is completely unfair. So we can't have a free speech, free exchange of ideas, open discourse about this topic because I'm considered hateful for having the perspective. Because I'm considered hateful or a bigot or an extremist or a Nazi, whatever the heck you want to call me, because I don't believe that the nation state of Israel is the biblical Israel.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, for example, you asked about the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church believes in the Jewish people's right to self-determination. I have no problem with that. I have no people with I don't care what religion you are. I don't care if you're Jewish. I don't care if you're Christian. I don't care if you're a Muslim. I don't care. In America, we have freedom of religion. The First Amendment is there for a reason. Nobody should have their rights infringed upon because of their religion. Absolutely not. We have the right to pursue the truth in America, and we need to be able to talk about the truth and exchange these ideas freely without having to be worried about government crackdown, company crackdown, censorship, etc. So my biggest problem here is simply as this whole issue relates to free speech. That to me is the biggest problem when it comes to all of this, because you have one side that seems to think that if anybody doesn't agree with what our religious belief is, they wage their forces and lobby and government and power and social media to crack down on that. And to me, that is tyranny. That's tyranny, ultimately, is what it comes down to.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, we touched on this a little bit when we sat down together on my show. You were talking about this, but you're connecting it to the logos and everything. Yeah, it's interesting. Interesting little climate, interesting little chess game. It's like a chess game where you don't get all the pieces.
That's it.
You don't have all of them. You have some, but you don't have all of them, limited, mostly pawns. You get mostly pawns. That's basically it. Maybe a little horse, little knight. That's about it.
Yeah. A little gnome. Just a little
gnome. You get a little gnome, and that's basically it. And the other side has Jesus and bam, bam, all these huge pieces and kings and queens and pseudo royalty and money, and you know, yeah, big club, and you're not in it. George
Nope.
Carlin.
That's
George
right.
Carlin. Yeah.
Well, before we get to some of our chats here, we got a couple minutes before we get to the chats. One of the things I wanted to bring up to you, and I wanted to show you this. So another one of the reasons. So we talked a lot about the agenda. We talked a lot about the problems that I specifically have with the agenda as it relates to what Erica Kirk is doing and Turning Point USA, and as a justification for the backlash and the criticism that they've gotten. Like a lot of what I've covered on my channel is the political, cultural, and religious fallout of the Charlie Kirk assassination and kind of the direction that Turning Point USA and Erica Kirk have taken it since Charlie passed away. And that's where my problems are. I know that there are other people that do way better and are way more qualified to do like the investigative work. Like I'm not a Baron Coleman, right? Like I'm not sitting there watching planes throughout the night. I'm not measuring people's shadows. I'm not doing that, right? I'm not.
Baron Coleman went so deep that he found the menu at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. He's like, I took a look at the menu. I'm like, how did he find the menu? Like, what? He knew what they were eating. I was
he knew what Erica Kirk ordered. Like, it's like, who thinks like this? Who thinks like this?
Right.
But you need these people. You need them. You need them.
Definitely.
Him and Daisy, like, you know, they're just like, they just sit there and like track planes all night. My goodness, man.
Yeah.
Gosh, looking at timestamps of like where the sun is at certain hemispheres to determine like the locations of people.
Right? All that stuff, man. It's I remember when I first talked to him, it was right before or right as he left his job. It was like he left his job like 2 days, and then we had our members chat, and he was just like, he's like, yeah, one time for an opening statement, he's like, I put like 8 hours of work in. I was like, 8 hours. I was like, for the opening, I'm like, isn't that like 20? Isn't that like 15 minutes? And he's like, yeah, you know, it's just like a big one, and I had to really. I was like, oh, this guy's on a different level. Like this is going to be real different, you know. So it's incredible. It's incredible to see it, man. I think we give it 2 years and he'll be like top 10 podcast.
I think so.
That's a definite possibility. Just a few years.
I agree with that. I agree. Yeah, no one's on his level doing that type of thing. But I mean, ultimately though, like the other aspect of this, so as it relates to the agenda, that's where, you know, I have, that's where my issues, that's where a lot of my commentary comes in. Another reason why they've gotten so much backlash from people is because of the lies and the dishonesty that they've been caught in. So I don't know if you've seen this list from Candace Owens, and you probably can't read it, but ultimately this is the list of lies that's pretty well known that Candace has put out. I want to get your comment here on some of these lies, but ultimately I just want to make the overall point, because the overall point of what I wanted to talk about on the show today was, as Erica Kirk described us, and as many are described who don't agree with what Erica Kirk's doing, or the just the overall direction of Turning Point USA, the critics, like we're not killing some religious Christian revival. Like we talked about that, where the backlash is coming because of people either don't agree with your agenda or they're not happy and then have grown suspicious, and that has caused them to ask even more questions. Some even asking and are concerned about like the worst type of questions as it relates to Erica Kirk, right? But the reason for that is because of the dishonesty. Candace Owens, I think, said it best. Like, if you're lying about something, it means you're covering for something. So, and this is a list of verified Turning Point USA lies that have been put at, that have come out since. And this doesn't even include the lies that Erica Kirk told Candace Owens directly to her face. But as I've said on my channel many times, Candace Owens was very gracious towards Erica Kirk in the immediate aftermath of Charlie being killed, wasn't entertaining at all the prospect that anything nefarious was going on. It wasn't until Erica lied to her face at the in-person meeting that Candace then began to investigate and turn her questions and grow more suspicious of Erica Kirk. And it was primarily about the call with the surgeon. It was about the call with the surgeon that Erica said that Andrew went rogue on, but she was actually there on that call.
Yeah.
That was a pretty pivotal moment in Candace turning on Erica.
Yeah, definitely.
That causes people to grow suspicious. But then I want to bring this one up, this top one here. Turning Point USA verified lies. The amazing, heroic, magnificent Mikey McCoy had blood all over him. The magnificent Mikey McCoy called his father first. Mikey McCoy was a hero that day. The offender, everyone at Turning Point USA said that. Everyone at Turning Point USA said that. I want to bring up this picture here. That is Mikey McCoy.
Yeah, I know.
That's Mikey McCoy up top there, circled. That is him. We all saw him walk, put his ears over his head, and walk away in the immediate aftermath. He walked away, covering his ears, went to that back fence, and did not even turn around one time. And that's Charlie being put in the car right there.
Man, I'm telling you, one ear over, one hand over ear, the other one he's on the phone. I've like when it came to these parts of the case, I've done real close looking at Mikey and Blake because they're kind of beside each other at that point where Charlie gets hit, and you can clearly see something comes up. It is not this that happens. It is this. And the same way you would if you were on a phone and it was loud, you'd be walking away. He was on the phone within a millisecond. Before he even turns and walks away, he is already on the phone. He keeps walking. And also, you have an arrow pointing at Charlie right there. If you go down a little bit to the back of the car, you can see someone right there, Connor. That guy's name's Connor. He's an EMS guy. He has a guy with him as well that's kind of like behind him out of the shot. This is them walking up to the car because Connor is actually trained in treating the type of wound that Charlie has. So this is the perfect person to be in that car. Brian has a small purse looking thing. Brian Harpole, small purse looking thing. Rick Culler has nothing. Frank Turek has nothing. Dan Flood has nothing. This guy Connor, we're in the back of the car here, he even offers his trauma bag. His partner takes off his trauma bag and tries to offer it. They all get ignored. They both get ignored. And then the guys just drive away. It's very, very, the whole thing is very weird. You couple that with Mikey walking away here at the top, like you have, the whole thing is just so weird. So weird.
And just for them to say, like for them to say, like Mikey was covered in blood and Mikey acted like a hero, and it's just, and then you see this because you have the receipts on camera, and you see this, and what you see is the complete opposite. You either see one of two things. It's either cowardice or it's nefarious.
Yes,
and it's fair to ask these questions. Like, and this is what drives me the most insane. Yeah, as a Christian, I'm allowed to ask these questions, and it doesn't make me evil or demonic for asking them. And when you come back and you lie to me with an answer or won't give us the answer, what is that? What are we supposed to think about that?
Yeah.
What are we supposed to think about that?
And even what you're saying, you're like cowardice or him being complicit, right? Or nefarious. Cowards are shaky. Cowards run. That's what's known in cowardice, is a kind of like, oh my God, kind of running kind of thing. He was very calm.
Interesting.
Very cool. Just walked away. That's not how cowards behave. Cowards are very jittery. Cowards are scared. If you walk away nice and smooth, that's a whole different thing. Very, very different. And again, he's on the phone right away. He's not that I've made a video covering this. Look at where he is. He is not covering his ears down there. They're saying he covered his ears. This is what the explanation was. He covered his ears because of how loud it was, because it was a loud shot and a loud crowd. He is all the way down there. There is no shots and there's no crowd where he is. Why would he be walking away, not on the phone, hands over his ears still?
Right.
It doesn't make any sense. He's on the phone. That is what makes the most sense, is that he's on the phone and he's plugging his ear so he can hear whoever he's talking to and they can hear him. That's what's happening there. Clearly.
How could you, like, if this was your closest friend, if this was like your brother or as close as they say they were to each other,
Exactly.
in the moment, and I've said this on my show, like in the moment, if I see something happen like right there at the tent, I don't know what you're gonna have to do to keep me away from trying to get in there and help to catch them, to like be there. I don't give a crap if there's another shooter. Like you're brother, we're going down together, right? Like I don't care. But to cover your ears and walk away, and then when they're taking him to the car, you don't even look. You don't even look. You're completely looking the other direction.
And keep in mind,
at most innocence, it's cowardice. But like you said, the smooth walk away, I don't understand this one bit. I don't get it. I don't get it. And I don't think any truly discerning person understands this. Understand what's happening right here.
And keep in mind, you have Blake off to the side. Blake has walked off to the side near where Terrell is. Terrell is the SD card guy. So the SD card guy is off camera there. He's standing on the ledge filming Charlie right now. Blake is somewhere in that vicinity, right? And then Mikey McCoy's down there. Blake just walks away as well, but Blake kind of scoots away / runs away. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you're 100% right. I mean, close friend. I have close friends. I have a bunch of close friends. Most of my friends, like, thank God, by the grace of God, most of my good friends are like 20 years, 30 years, things like that. We really grew up together, really came up together, did life together. There's no chance I would leave. There's no chance. There's no, even if I was there and I was behind where Charlie was, I don't think I would run. Like, not because I'm like I would just be like, oh, there's a guy that's on the ground. Like, that's kind of like the instinct that I kind of have when it comes to that. I don't shy away from blood. I don't really care about blood all that much. I'm not somebody that passes out. Like, I saw my wife like C-section organs everywhere and everything. Like, I'm fine with that type of stuff.
I'm not queasy either.
Yeah. So it's like, you would think you'd be like, if I see someone hurt, I'm going to be like, okay, I got to help this guy, or at least try to. But if I'm
on the ground with him, like get on the ground with him, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're there. You're going to be engaged with it. But
it's my friend. I have to be there. I have to.
You're going down with them. I can't. As a man, you're going down with them. Like, that just is what it is, right?
Yeah.
This is something else. This is something else. And don't call me evil, demonic. Don't question my Christian faith because I don't agree with this behavior. And then the lies afterwards for his dad to say he was covered in blood. Give me a break. And then for him, again, go back to Erika Kirk. How are you not firing him? How can you say this? How can you just be like, hey, like, look, Mikey, like, the way that you reacted, I mean, whatever. I mean, I'm trying to come up with the firing language that Erika should use here, but it's like, look, you were his chief of staff. Like, we're just going to go different directions now. And the reason for that is because of specifically how you behaved right after he was shot. If I'm the CEO, I don't want this guy as a part of my organization anymore. Given that behavior, I'd be like, well, that tells a lot about you. You're out. You're out. I don't want you in this battle with me right now. Yeah. I don't. Right?
Yeah, exactly. You'd think there'd be some kind of cleaning of house. A week later, you see her with the exact same security. You think it would just be, she takes over as CEO and she has announced the inner circle and all the security are all let go. All of them. Gone. Abruptly let go. My husband died. He was on your watch. He died. And as for the rest of you that were there, just, I don't want you to have to work in these conditions. Even as a CEO, you can just make something up. You've been through a lot, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we're just going to go a different direction. 100%. 100%. I mean, the security, that's a whole other issue. Like, they're still working for him. I think Dan Flood got a promotion, dude. Yeah. I mean, it's like, you had one job. You literally had one job. And
yeah. Brian Harple, he had one job. He got a text message saying, hey, we got you covered. He didn't even send a text message back saying, when you say you got me covered, does that mean there's going to be someone on the roof watching? Hey, where is this guy going to be? Can one of my guys be with him? Since you got me covered, I'd love to help you out as well. I got like 3 extra guys. Can I just have them on the roof too? We can work together on this. That'd be great. He didn't say anything like that.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No.
You know,
No
it's just
follow-up whatsoever. Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, okay, we trust you. It's like, all right. I want to, before I get to this next slide, I want to bring up Trigger Smart here. I know he's in the chat, so I'm going to give him a shout out here. Appreciate this, but here you go. His dad is a power player, Turning Point USA Faith. That's why he's safe.
Mikey McCoy.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, Charlie fell out of the Falkirk Center because of the weird scandal that was around his partner that he was in there with. That was supposed to be like Turning Point Faith. And then because of that scandal, Charlie moved away from it. Liberty University didn't want to do anything with Charlie or his partner just because it was like the whole thing was soured. And then directly after he meets Rob McCoy, he becomes like a mentor, meets Fran Turek and Rob McCoy within the same year. And then they make Turning Point Faith right away. As he meets the guy whose father and himself have experience in psychological operations, he establishes Turning Point Faith. And Turning Point Faith, if you look into the book Mind War, because a lot of people have heard about Paul E. Vallely, they know that he wrote a book with that guy who's a Satanist, Michael Aquino, I believe his name is. They know all about that. But if you read the book and you look into what the book talks about in terms of psychological operations, you will see that Turning Point Faith practices a lot of these things. A lot, from political stunts to systematic belief system manipulation, which is basically just manipulating people through religion. That's what Turning Point Faith's function is when you really look at it. So it's very interesting. You know, there's a whole rabbit hole you get down once you start looking into Rob McCoy and his dad and the connection there. It's weird.
Yeah. I mean, again, I think they're of a certain agenda that I am certainly not for, as we've been talking about this entire time.
Yeah.
All right. So then I want to bring up, and I'm glad you mentioned Terrell Farnsworth, because that's the next one that I want to show you. And I want to get your thoughts on this. Actually, I texted Baron Coleman about this, and he gave me an answer, which I thought was interesting, but I'll let you know what that is here in a second. But we scroll down a little bit. About lie number 8. Terrell Farnsworth was told to remove the SD cards by police. That offender is Tyler Boyer. Number 9. Terrell Farnsworth removed the SD cards because people were stealing hats.
Yes.
That is from Andrew Colvett. I want you to look at this. This is the video of Farnsworth taking down the camera. I want you to look at him looking around first.
Yeah, he's shifty.
100%. He's looking around first. Everybody knows what that is. When you're about to do something bad, you look around.
So you see what you're seeing with him, all fidgety. You're seeing a little bit of cowardice, a little bit of adrenaline. That's what you're seeing with him.
That's what you see right there. Let me ask you this. Coach. This is what I asked Baron. You see that camera there at the front?
Yeah.
If he was told to remove the SD cards by the police, or if he was removing the SD cards because people were stealing hats, the hats are closer to that front camera than they are to the back camera, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Wouldn't the police too want the SD cards removed from the front?
Yeah, of course.
One of the things that what I asked Baron is, I was like, you would think that if Turning Point USA wanted people to know the full truth, and they were, they wanted to correct public opinion about what's going on, they would release all this stuff. They'd release it. That camera in the front, I know for a fact, has been asked for. That's what Baron said. We've asked for it. It's been asked for. It's not been provided.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That camera in the front would tell us a lot.
Yeah, it tells a story. Each angle tells a story, right? Keep in mind, though, when it comes to the whole police told him to do it, like Tyler Boyer says that. Andrew Colvett actually famously says, I asked him why he did it, and he said he took them out because he knew how evil people could be, which was referencing towards people stealing the cameras and the SD cards and everything. So, take the SD cards that are literally, they're worth a lot because of what's on them, but, not worth that much. The cameras that are in the range of like red camera technology, which if you don't know, is like quite expensive. Just leave those there. Also, keep in mind, as you're looking at this, you're not looking at somebody who's doing this an hour later. and the police have said, hey, take out those SD cards. You're looking at someone who's doing this 7 minutes later. The police did not first off, how would they contact him and say, hey, remove the SD cards, please? We need those. Hey, you're being deputized. We need you to collect evidence for us, son. That's what's happening there? I doubt it. What they would want from people is, hey, lock down the crime scene for us. Maybe if they get in contact with you, lock it down. Lock it down so no one can touch anything. Maybe they do that, but they're not going to ask a guy who happens to be the head of the audio video to take the SD cards out. And again, how in that amount of time? While this is happening, there are reports on police radio where they are talking about a car going down the road that's open because Charlie's feet are hanging out, right? They're seeing reports of that. They barely even know what's going on. They know that someone's been shot, potentially. They have no clue what's going on. But somehow they contacted him within minutes and said, take out the SD cards? That makes no sense. No sense. Zero sense. So that's not what's going on there. He did that for himself or for someone else, allegedly,
100%. The only type of person I know who films themselves the way that he did is someone who is in it for themselves. Is your first, and I know Candace Owens gave him a lot of crap because Erika Kirk called out all the reporters at the White House Correspondents' Dinner who filmed themselves during the assassination to make it about themselves, which Erika Kirk thinks is the first rule of journalism, which is the first rule of journalism is telling the truth. Like, I don't know what rule of journalism she's referring to. I mean, literally, if there's any rule of journalism, it's like if there's a second rule, it's get your camera out to capture the breaking news.
Yes, exactly, 100%.
So I don't even know what she's saying there, but like she's giving them a hard time for doing this, for making it about themselves, for filming themselves on the floor in a situation. I mean, he literally did the exact same thing, and he said in that, like, he's dead, God be with him, and he's on his way to the hospital. Like, is he? What makes you say that? What makes you say that? And then he decides that he's going to go and look around and look sketchy and take these cameras, and then they're going to lie about why. They're going to lie about why, because for the life of me, I cannot wrap my head around, again, that front camera's there. That front camera's there, and we're only talking about the back camera here.
Yeah. Candace didn't get that from him either. Didn't get the front. She just got the back.
That's right.
From the imaging that she showed recently, she only got the back. So I haven't seen anybody with the front. Maybe it tells a whole different story. Who knows? But yeah, it's
asked for it.
That whole yeah, for sure. I mean, that whole thing is it's very weird with him. And then keep in mind, as she's calling that guy out for filming himself and saying all that, as he's capturing the whole thing, keep in mind he didn't see what happened to Charlie. He left, he moved is quick. I mean, go watch the footage. I've watched this footage like so closely. When it first happened, like that's all I was focused on was the footage. Yeah. And he moved just as quickly as Blake and Mikey. So he couldn't have saw. I would give him that if he saw everything coming out and he saw that, then he goes, oh my God, this guy's dead. Like I give him that. He didn't see that. He ran off, jumped up there, started filming. He only saw them taking him away.
Oh my gosh. So the only justification in my mind that would like the only thing that could cause him to say that would be he saw the wound from that left side, like blood gushing out, and then he's just like, oh my gosh, like there's no way you can survive that. Yeah. He's dead. Like that would be the justification. He didn't even see it.
No, he didn't. He wasn't on that side. He's on the other side, and he's behind the tent.
Wow. Man.
And again, they all move very quick. They're all gone. It goes off. He's hit, falls. They're gone. Everybody's gone. They're not looking behind them. They couldn't if they wanted to. They couldn't see through the tent once they're behind the tent. So that would be it. That'd be it.
Jeez, man.
I mean, yeah. So yeah, the list of lies. Yeah, I've done videos going through the whole list of lies. It's all very interesting that, and this is again how I form an opinion that things are a little coordinated, because I don't know if Gary was just like, you know, impartial. He's just, he's just on the side of truth and justice. Why didn't he ever bring up that list of lies by Turning Point? Why doesn't he ever bring that up? Why doesn't he ever talk about that? Why don't any of them? Why didn't, Candace was on the Hodge Twins podcast and she said Officer Tatum's like a brother to her. She goes, that's like my brother. Like, we give each other noogies. Like we're like family. Why doesn't he do that? Why didn't he go through the list of lies and at least say, this is what Candace pulled up?
Right. And answer them and just answer them.
And even if you can't, just call it out. Just call it out. You're a commentator. Just at least call it out. Like say, hey, look, this is my sister, Candace Owens. They're supposed to be like family. Why don't you say, hey, this is what she found. We got to look into this.
Right. Let's clear this up. I mean, one of the most effective things that Erica Kirk would do would just be to take this list and just go down it one by one and do it.
Yeah.
And when you don't do it, when you refuse to do it, this is why people are like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like, when you refuse to answer these questions, it causes people to grow suspicious, because I don't know. It seems to me, if I'm the CEO of an organization and these claims are being made by a very prominent individual, and this is such a high profile thing, and it is affecting your public image, you just come out and be like, hey, like, I'm going to go down this. Like, let's talk about it. Let's talk it through. Right. It just seems like that'd be the common sense thing to do.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, man. The whole thing just stinks. It's terrible. I've said many times, if it was anybody who's watching right now, or if it was you, and if it was me, if we were the SD card guy, or we were Mikey, or we were Tyler, or we were Erica, or we were any of these people, they would put us into questioning. They would grab us up and they'd make sure that we didn't leave the country or the state, or you know what I mean? They would make sure. They would make sure of it. Something different's going on with all these people for some reason.
It's hard to think not. It's hard to argue with that, given how all this is played out. All right, do you have some time to get through some chats here?
Yeah, I'm here. Let's go.
Woot woot, Zach into house. Always be true. This is my channel. What are you talking about? This is a regular here too. This is a regular. My goodness. That's hilarious. Hey, look, it's Coach Colin's world. I'm just living in it. All right.
Yeah.
I picked up on her setting up the narrative that because we all question her and talk about her, that we are going to cause someone to try and unalive her. I think it's an attempt on her. I think an attempt on her will be staged soon. I'm calling it. Christ is king.
Christ is king.
Christ is king. I mean, this whole incitement narrative that they are crafting here, I agree with. I think it's a setting up to crack down on the speech of individuals who are bringing all of this up. I do agree with that, and I see that happening.
Yeah, same thing happened with the previous administration. Eventually, people were just calling out glaring things so much that they just said, man, I remember Kamala Harris famously being like, there needs to just be consequences. And, you just can't have people on X just saying whatever they want. And because that's where it was flourishing the most. That's where the pictures of him wandering around was and falling upstairs and all this stuff. And they were like, we got to get control of this whole thing.
Yes.
And the same thing's happening right now. They have somebody who they feel should be in the political spectrum, whether it is president or vice president, and they have to protect this person at all costs. And that's what they're trying to do. It's probably something in the mind of, this is the only person that JD Vance could cling on to in order to have success in 2028 would be Erica, because they probably can't see anybody else, and there's probably nobody else that wants to do it, perhaps. And, it needs to be a known face. It needs to be someone who all conservatives are manipulated to see Charlie in because it's his wife. So they're attaching him to her as much as possible. And yeah, that is a narrative that's going out there. Officer Tatum was just yelling about it. I was just playing a clip of him being like, y'all want her assassinated. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Nope.
Like, people are
Nope.
making fun of her looking like a rapper. Nobody wants anything to happen to her. Nobody.
No. Nope. We just want the truth. That's all. Like,
Man.
yeah, well said. When Kamala Harris said that, it scared the crap out of me, and that's why I'm scared now because of what all of these people are saying.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love this so much. Two of my favorite podcasters. Again, now all we need is Zach, Coach, Baron, Candace, Ian, all in one. Christ is King. God bless you both and your amazing wives who share you with us. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be that was a big leap you took there. It's like me and Zach, and then now you just need the rest of the biggest voices in the world.
It's like, hey, Coach and I'll take that. You know what I mean? Like, we were talking about it before we came on. Like, we're like the middle class of the content creators. Yeah. If these elite guys, if the top dogs want to come talk to us, like, absolutely, let's go.
Yeah, right. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Just two black men rapping.
Smoke detector beep.
That's good.
Yeah, we had to do it. We had to do it.
We did. That was good. These mods are awesome. So polite, and they thank you for super chats. Love this wholesome place. Great job, boys. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a shout out to the mods. You guys all do a great job.
Good job.
Thank you so
That's
much.
great.
TPUSA will send our sons to war, widow card or not.
Yeah. They don't exactly send them, but they're trying to line them up. That's what this is. Turning Point is turned into something that lines them up, and the administration knocks them down. That's kind of how they're working hand in hand nowadays, it seems.
Yeah. And again, this is where this political, cultural, and religious influence, like, these things do matter. These things do matter, and they have consequences. Whoop whoop, team power today. I guess I'll let you do the whoop whoop.
Whoop whoop. That's what we're called now. Team power. That's us. That's how we do it. All right.
I'll let him do the whoop whoop. I'm not trying to take anybody's thing to have to pay some $33 royalty like I had to pay Baron or anything like that.
$33.33. You know, like I heard you called your outfit a high IQ outfit, and it was just like people were up in arms. They were like,
it just like came out. Like, it honestly just like came out. I've been watching too much Baron Coleman, and I said like, oh, we're a high IQ outfit too, or something like that. And Baron, I guess, was watching the show that day and called me out for it. I think it was like last week too. Like, at the very beginning, I said welcome in, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like, I need to stop doing this.
That's so funny.
His new intro is catchy. Like, and I see it. I was like, welcome in. So then, like, I just start talking, and then it's just there.
It's solid. It's amazing, actually.
It is. Colleen, thanks for becoming a member. I appreciate you. Thanks for that support. Burry. Aren't they making fun of Candace for that pronunciation? Double standards, y'all. Oh, Burry. I don't know how.
Burry. Yeah, she says bury. They're gonna bury it, and in the rum. She says rum.
In the rum. Yeah.
You know,
that's a type of accent. Like, I feel like people from like Pennsylvania maybe talk like that a little bit. Like, my mom is from right outside of Philly, and she says water. Like, she's got like she said some things.
Yeah, it's there's actually a whole channel that they've created. It's not doing well, but it's like a whole little X channel where they like just make fun of how she like reads. You know.
Oh, good job, you got her. Yeah, good job. Way to go. You misspeak on when you're talking live. Congratulations. Way to go, everybody.
Oh, people don't even realize, man. When you're live, it's like, oof, it's different.
It is. You're on the spot. Like, you're not going to be perfect, right?
Yeah, definitely not.
So dumb, man. So dumb. Yeah. We can get the perfect language in the pre-records. Is that what everybody wants? Is that what you want? You want them to go through like 5 takes on a show to get it perfect? Like, it's so stupid, man. It's so dumb.
Yeah. Whatever.
Get some more Erica Kirk style videos out there. Revival of truth, revival of the roots of our faith, revival towards Jesus. What he actually says, does, and calls us to do as a response. Christ is King. Yeah, that's the revival. I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Christ is king. And yes, coach, you said my name right.
Oh yeah, that was today. I was trying to pronounce her name. I don't think I could do it again, but I got it. Thank you.
I've just stopped reading the names of them just because I can't do it. I can't do it. It's like it's embarrassing. Honestly, if I grow any bigger, they're gonna make a show of me trying to pronounce everybody's YouTube handles, and it's gonna be catastrophic. Catastrophic for my brand.
They can definitely have a compilation of me doing that. It's terrible. Me trying to get through names, man.
Is this Adeline Gutierrez? Is that right?
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. All right. Dog's nose. No, hope she stays to make this abundantly clear. Hope she stays to make this abundantly clear.
Who? We've only talked about Erica.
I'm trying to think. Erica stays where though to make it clear.
We talked about Marjorie Taylor Greene a little bit. That's it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's about it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the more she stays in the public spotlight, the more people will continue to see her for what she is. I don't know.
Possibly.
If that's the case, I agree with you.
Yeah.
Who is advising Erika Kirk? Wearing black shirt buttoned up to her neck, looking like an assassin, calling out CO, and then unbuttoning the same shirt to address Turning Point USA Faith. They're also tone deaf. I totally agree.
I totally agree. Very weird switch up.
And I said, I don't even care about clothes. Like you guys all know, and I said this yesterday, like I wear like the same 5 things every day for my show. Like I don't even care, but like, what are you wearing?
Yeah. Yeah. Like why? Why is, I mean, it's I don't get it. I don't get it.
When she showed up to film, who was like, hey, maybe we should try something else.
Yeah. You want to throw on a dress?
Like, let's just do the flowing blonde hair and something normal. All right. Like, can we not do this? Like, this was planned. You announced this 2 days ago. It was highly anticipated, given you had just gone crazy viral after the White House Correspondents' Dinner. All eyes are going to be on you.
Yeah.
Let's not scare the crap out of people like it's an internet prank when you cut onto the screen. Because it truly scared me. I was truly scared.
It's like a very conservative outfit, right? They have. So they don't have like the token gay guy who's just like dressing her, styling her. That's what they need. They need that guy who just comes in and says, honey, no, this is crazy. Are you really all black? The funeral was months ago, honey. No. We're going to take this off. Guys, we'll be back in a second. That's what they need. They need that guy. They don't have that guy, though. He's too woke. They don't have that guy on board.
They do. That's exactly who they need. Just that truth teller. Just like,
Yeah.
Not a good idea, sweetheart. That's hilarious. Free speech absolutists searching for solutions. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
That's who we are here. $5 to remove her face off the screen while you all talk to each other. She creeps me out.
Yeah, it was there for a while.
That's funny.
That is so funny.
That's funny. I removed it eventually.
Mm-hmm.
The promised additional $5.
Promises made, promises kept.
They're serious about getting her off the screen.
Fredo, good
to see you. Guys, what a good combo you are. I'm staying. Thank you.
Great.
Thank you for the super chat.
Hey, Fredo. I don't know if this is Fredo or Frito. I don't know how I'm supposed to say this, but come be on the show. My show, I mean. You can do Zach's show too, I guess. But
I would be happy to. Yeah. No, I think that'd be great.
Come be on my show. Great. Would love to talk to you.
Cool. Yeah, do coach and then you can come over to the Zach Costello Show. That'd be fun. Thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the support. And thanks for joining us today.
Congratulations on 100,000. She just got 100,000 subscribers.
100K? Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. That's a huge milestone. That's the hardest one to get. you know. Right. Startup, from the come up. That's good stuff. Yeah, congratulations on that 100,000. That's great. Nola Jen, this is one of our mods here. Turning Point USA is a charity. They should be helping more and talking less. Makes no sense. Hey, coach, glad you're here. Yeah, no, I'm glad you mentioned that. I mean, again, Turning Point USA is they are tax free. They do not have to pay taxes because they are a nonprofit who is supposed to be promoting the public good. That is their responsibility as a nonprofit. So yes, this is not some private company that gets to do whatever they want. They are a tax subsidized organization that is supposed to be working for the public good. We as the public are allowed to criticize and have an opinion of them. 100%. 100%. I'm glad you brought that up. I put that on X today, actually, because somebody was like, who are you to be able to question Turning Point USA? They're a private organization funded by the donor. It's like, no, they don't pay taxes. They don't pay taxes, actually.
Yeah, true.
And they don't pay taxes because they are supposed to be doing a public good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and they're not allowed to do things politically. I didn't even know that. I heard that Lionel was talking about that with Christine Fikiti recently, that they're not supposed to be doing things politically, which is a very odd thing. I forget how he phrased it, but
no, they're a 501c3, and as a 501c3, you are not allowed to lobby or endorse a political candidate. So, like what Erica Kirk did on the stage at AmFest, which is a Turning Point USA, which is the 501c3 event, saying that they were going to get JD Vance's elected, is a big no-no when it comes to what a 501c3, which is the tax exempt nonprofit. Donations to a 501c3 are tax exempt. So you as a donor, you can give $100,000, whatever it may be, and you can write that off. You can write that off. It's a tax exempt donation. And then the organization obviously doesn't pay taxes, but the nonprofit organization that doesn't pay taxes, you have a 501c3, which allow donors to make tax exempt donations to it. But you can't endorse political candidates, you can't lobby, etc. A 501c4 is a nonprofit that doesn't pay taxes, but those donations to the donors are not tax exempt, so they cannot write those off. But those organizations can lobby and they can endorse political candidates. So Turning Point USA as the 501c3 is different from Turning Point Action, which is the 501c4, which can endorse political candidates. So that is the political arm of Turning Point USA.
Interesting. Huh? Because I feel like they just do that all round. Like I feel like if you watch enough Turning Point faith pastors, you'll see a hint of that. If you just look at Turning Point just in and of itself, they do that. I mean, I don't know. Okay.
They blur the line. They blur the line for sure.
Yeah.
They blur the line for sure.
Definitely.
The argument, I don't want to get too hung up on this, but the argument that you make on the other side, and this is where Charlie was like, well, we need to go on offense. So what he created is a nonprofit 501c3 that went on offense for the right, because this is what the left has been doing for a long time. So like think of an organization like BLM, for example. That was a 501c3 nonprofit organization, right? So and think of an organization like Act Blue, for example. I believe that's a 501c3. APAC is a 501. No. Is APAC a 501c3 or a 501c4? No, the ADL, excuse me. The APAC, I think, is a 501c4. But they have a 501c3 that operates so all of the congressmen that go to these trips for Israel, APAC actually operates that under a 501c3, and they say that it's for educational purposes. So that's an arm of APAC, but they have an affiliated 501c3 that funds those trips for congressmen to Israel for educational purposes. Isn't that interesting? The ADL, who lobbies for legislation, does all this and it considers, or labels people extremists, reports to the FBI. 501c3, tax exempt donation to the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League.
Wow,
crazy.
Interesting. Okay. All right.
So what Charlie was doing is he was creating kind of a nonprofit weapon. But the problem is these nonprofits, they all operate. They don't operate how they should, right? They don't operate how they should. A lot of people have become a problem. It's become a problem for a lot of people, and rightfully so. But anyway, I don't want to get too hung up on that. Too late. We already did. Let's keep rolling. We don't have a lot of time here. I gotta get rolling here in the next probably 10 minutes. So we got to get through these chats here.
Let's go.
Jesus is the way, the truth, and the light. Amen. I got no argument for that.
Amen.
Nick Shirley, like Woodward in Watergate Intel.
Yeah. Yeah. That is the naval intelligence officer I was telling you about. That this out of nowhere got this huge thing. Yeah, I could see a similarity there with Nick Shirley for sure. Just stumbles onto this this huge fraud thing going on, and then all of a sudden, wherever the GOP kind of says, this is the enemy, he kind of goes to that state and finds more fraud.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And also there's a video of him talking with Adam. I played this video, Adam from the Patrick Bet David podcast, and to me it sounded like he kind of got I don't know, educated. I don't know what you thought, but Adam's just like, hey, how'd you like that time I took you to those super rich people, right? How was that? Yeah, I took you to Miami. That was a crazy house, right? The guy's super rich, right? It was weird. They courted him. They brought him to some place where it was super rich people, and I don't know. And then soon after I think it's like right in line with that huge fraud thing happening in Minnesota. Interesting stuff.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Data point.
Yeah, exactly.
My word is like a dag number sign.
Is like a dag. My word is like I guess a dagger. I guess. My word is like a dagger. I'm thinking like Eminem lyrics.
Maybe. Appreciate the super chat. Appreciate you. Thanks for becoming a member, Mike Riley. Thank you for that.
Mike
support.
Riley, friend of the show, great guy.
Oh, friend. Okay, cool. Thanks for being here. Thanks for becoming a member. Peace and good health to both of you and your families. Christ is King. Hit the likes. Yes, hit the likes. Hit
Christ
the likes.
King, indeed. Miss Chris Viz, another great friend of the show, definitely.
Good stuff. Thanks for being here as well. Erica Kirk publicly said we should act more like them.
Who's them?
Who is them? Who is they? I think I know.
Yeah, I think I know too.
We're bad boys. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. I actually had a man show up at my front door. He called me by name as I politely said, no, thank you. And he said, aren't you Republican? I less nicely responded, I am nothing anymore. So F off.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Showing up to your door, to your phones. And I saw some in the comments like geofencing is not new. I understand geofencing is not new, but it's been done by companies for marketing purposes. It hasn't been done by foreign governments on their behalf. Like
even if it's not a religious organization, very weird. Even a faith organization doing it, very weird.
Right. There should be, and I believe like companies, there are laws around where I think you have to opt in. Like there are different ways that you have to. Yeah, they've disguised it. They've disguised the opt-in methods, but like you have to literally provide the information to them.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just mass harvesting and then shooting out information, especially on behalf of a foreign nation. Like that's just crazy. Or a religious ideology. Crazy. That's new. Okay? That's new.
Yeah, true.
Christian front organizations geofencing on behalf of Israel is new. Okay?
Yeah. He just wanted to drive that point home. Just one more time.
That's what we're talking about here. All right. That's what we're talking about here. For all you people in the chat that know that geofencing has been around for a long time, like we get it. We get it.
Mm-hmm. True. Yeah. Minimize TSN.
Decode that like Nash equilibrium. Oh man, this is one that I'm just not smart enough for.
Star Studio drops some friend of the show drops some really coded stuff. I say all the time, I'm like, you got to tell me if these are books or websites or videos that you want me to look up. Like I gotta know. But he's
minimize TSN. It says decode that. I can't. Thanks for the super chat. I appreciate you. And thanks for making me feel less than smart. Appreciate you. No, I'm just kidding. Acts 2:36. For this reason, the whole house of Israel can be certain that the Lord and Christ, whom God has made, is Jesus, whom you crucified. Yeah, that's right. I mean, that was the language of Acts is the early apostles, Peter specifically, Stephen, the first martyr, talking to the Jews, saying this blatantly. They weren't talking to Rome, people. They weren't talking to the Romans. They weren't talking to Pontius Pilate. Nope.
Wow.
Curious if any received a text from Turning Point today. I received one this morning from Tyler B. asking for donations to chase ballots, not bullets. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I made a donation after Charlie Kirk, and now they won't leave me alone. Well, there you go. I mean, that's an opt-in for sure. Yeah, that's an opt-in. I didn't get
Wow.
that message from them. I didn't, but chase ballots, not bullets. Like, this is just consistent with their overall messaging right now of political violence. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Wow.
Anybody else did? Yeah, let me know. Curtain torn, price paid, law fulfilled, sacrifice offered, not replacement, redemption. Christ is king. Yeah, amen.
Christ is king.
There you go.
Indeed.
There you go.
Wow.
Why do people think a country named Israel in 1948 and not even close to being all of the territorial areas of the Old Testament, 12 tribes, is the Israel person that God renamed? Great question.
Mm-hmm.
Great question.
Definitely.
Zach is 1000% correct. Jesus fulfilled the law. Amen. That's it. That's the Orthodox Christian teaching. When I say Orthodox, I mean the original Christian teaching. My Rolex wearing, jet flying former pastor been live streaming about Philly all week. Church called Revival today. Pitt, Fort, is that Fort Lauderdale maybe? West Texas, LA, Phoenix, Fort Huachuca. P.S. My baby boy arriving early either tomorrow or Saturday. Christ is king.
Wow. Congratulations, Mike Riley. Good, man.
Great stuff. Congratulations to you.
Revival
Again, not surprising. These affiliated churches, they talk a lot of politics. Look, if your pastor on Sunday is talking about Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, I'm questioning that church. I'm questioning that church.
I would be astounded. I would be devastated if that's what even if they were talking about them positively. I'd be like, what is going on here?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
And Mike Riley, tell me, is your pastor's name Jonathan Shuttlesworth? Is that what his name is? Because I just typed in Revival today. That's what came up. Let me know if that's his name, because he never names him. He's talked about him on my show too. Let me know if that's it.
We got to start naming names here.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm late, so if already addressed good, Harple just fired a lawsuit against Candace Owens.
No,
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
There's no way he did. For what?
That's big news. That's big news. I don't know.
He should do it against Sean Ryan for letting him do that interview.
Mystic gifting 10 Zach Costello memberships. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Thank you for that. Teamwork makes the dream work. Great collaboration. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I understand that one.
Yeah, right.
One lie that has bothered me, I said it several times on Real Baron podcast, is when the Shabbat Shalom book was finished. They finished it. Not Charlie Kirk, allegedly.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, I could see that. And then they went on the big media blitz to grab some money from it.
Yeah.
Coach, I'm also Catholic. Feel free to ask me anything. I was a Catholic youth minister for many years. I love and understand my faith.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. I will. Yeah, I have questions.
It matters because that was her main reason to come out on every TV show for weeks on end. No book, no tour, no stop. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, that was one of the main reasons why she went out. She went out and did that tour. Yep, that's a very good point. A very good point. Duelli, Acts 4:10-12 says it all. Normally when people give me a Bible verse, I'm inclined to read it. If I remember correctly, Acts 4 is when they're standing before the Sanhedrin. Let me see.
Oh, Mike Riley said his pastor's name is Jonathan Settleworth. Oh, wow. Yeah, this guy's a shill. Oh, man. Okay. I'm going to look into him.
Yeah, so Acts chapter 4, verse 10, then all of you, what means he was, I'm sorry, then all of you and all the people of Israel should know that it was in the name of Jesus Christ the Nazarene, whom you crucified, whom God raised from the dead. In his name, this man stands before you healed. He is the stone rejected by you, the builders, which has become the cornerstone. There is no salvation through anyone else, nor is there any other name under heaven given to the human race by which we are to be saved. Yeah, so that was after the healing, and that healing was in the name of Jesus, and that's what they were telling the Sanhedrin. And they were telling them, like, hey, look, this is who you guys crucified, but this is the power that we're talking about here. And that's incredibly good news. Like, they were telling them that they made a mistake. They made a mistake in who they rejected and who they crucified, but they still had a way to salvation, which is great news. Like, you can be forgiven for what you've done, and come on, like come along with us. Like, this is the amazing thing. These are the amazing things that are happening right now.
True.
It's not like an anti-Semitic hateful thing. Like, it's not. That's not what we're going for. Like, let's be real about the history, and let's be real about what the responsibility of Christians are to win over, right? Accepting someone in their rejection of Christ is extremely unloving, in my opinion.
I like that.
Do you notice how she says Charlie instead of my husband? Isn't that reverse? She always says my husband instead of Charlie.
She's saying,
She doesn't say Charlie very much.
Did you notice now? She says
now
Charlie.
she says Charlie instead of my husband.
My husband. Yeah.
I guess she's being coached on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, again, when it comes to manipulating someone's belief system, and creating that tether, creating that link, that chain, you can't use my husband. My husband doesn't work. If I hear my husband, that doesn't connect with me as much. I know who the husband is, but it doesn't connect as much. When I hear Charlie, now I have a name, right? You don't just say, well, in the words of my savior, you don't say that. You say in the words of Jesus, right? You talk about Christ, because you want people to understand exactly who you're talking about, right? And the grandness of that. She wants people to understand. I think they all do. That's why they all have pictures of Charlie behind them and everything like that. They want you to be connected to him, like people would be connected to Jesus, which is why in that little Zoom interview, she was like, I want you to write down what Charlie said to you. I want you to look at it at night. I want you to show your children. That's what you do with scripture. You don't do that with what Charlie said.
That's good.
Yeah.
Intuition Jen, thank you so much for that generous donation. I appreciate you for that.
Good job, Jen.
Thank you, Jen. Will Erica be sued for doing Drewski face?
No,
nice.
I think Drewski's okay. I think
he's good.
He's a nice guy.
That was good. Everything they did was shady, and we were not supposed to notice a thing. Such utter nonsense. The lies on top of all their excuses has made it worse. Yep. This is the reason for the backsplash. It's not the backlash, excuse me. It's not because we're evil, demonic. It's because we see all this stuff and we don't like being lied to. I mean, that's just what it comes down to.
This is why
we don't like being lied to.
That's why all the kids are stepping away. You're seeing all these, the college chapters, the presidents, vice presidents, all sorts of people are stepping down. That one college dissolved their whole Turning Point Association. That's what's happening. I mean, they said it clear as day. They're like, we don't like the manipulation, right? We don't like this. Like what they even said, they made sure to say the whole Charlie would want, and Charlie thinks this, and Charlie thinks that. That pushed them away, and it's because they had actual conversations with Charlie. So what they're being told now that Charlie would want doesn't match up with what they were hearing from Charlie's mouth.
Yeah. Coach, love seeing you two together. Just sent you an IG message. Got a letter from the president, and apparently I need him to tell me how to vote. It's quite funny what it says. God bless you both, and thanks for the truth and laughs.
Thank you, Lisa Boxer Dog Mom. Thank you very much. Friend of the show. That's interesting. He told you how to vote? He probably said Democrat, right? I'd imagine. Man.
Do you think someone will come forward with video of Crybaby?
Of Crybaby? What? Oh, will somebody come forward as the person who filmed her crying, Erica?
Yeah.
If that's what you're talking about, maybe if somebody wants that 10 grand from Candace, they will do it.
I heard that 10 grand was put out there.
Yeah, maybe if they want it, but other than that, I don't know if anybody's going to step forward.
By the way, I've put this out there. I'm really trying to find out who this is. Who the reporter was with the Daily Mail that Erica had the conversation with, that she said she had the conversation with at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. I have been told that, shoot, what's her name? The reporter with the Daily Mail that wrote the bullet jacket fragment not matching the gun. I think her name is Melissa. I've been told that she was there. I wonder if that is who the Daily Mail reporter was. I've gotten word from a couple others that said they had not talked to her. I hadn't gotten confirmation from any of the Daily Mail reporters that were there. They had a conversation with Erika Kirk. And that's 2 of them. I'm still waiting to hear back from a couple of the other ones, but it's what's her name? Melissa.
I was trying to look it up. I can't find the article anymore. It's getting buried by all these other articles.
Well, that's the one that Turning Point USA flipped out on hard.
Yeah, everybody, they all activated.
Melissa Koenig. Melissa Koenig.
Okay.
Koenig. I asked her. I sent her a DM on X, but looks like she doesn't get on her X account very much. So I'm trying to get an answer on that. I really want a statement from whoever that reporter was that Erica talked to. In any case, into house, referring to you rapping. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, very talented. Very talented. Thanks, guys. Coach, still waiting on a stone to pass, but you made my day. Christ is king.
Yeah. Kidney stone. She's waiting on a kidney stone to pass. Jeez.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Painful.
Prayers for you. Prayers that you experience no pain, while that's going on. Jeez. Or minimal. I don't know if no pain's an option in this one, but minimal. But I'm glad I made your day. But glad both of us made your day. Christ is king indeed.
Christ is king. Amen. Don't worry, Baron will allow it. No $33 royalties.
Yeah.
Something I do want to put out for everyone right now: start stocking up on canned food and meat. Put away as much as you can. We will have troubles later this summer, fall, and things will be expensive and shortages will happen. It's probably something we should be aware of.
Perhaps.
Thanks for that, Scooch. Very active participator here on the channel. Appreciated. Derek Bronze's musician's name is 33 and Larry Bird.
Really? Okay.
I think I knew about Larry Bird. I think I knew that. Musician name is 33. That's interesting.
Yeah, very interesting name.
You guys are funny as sugar honey iced tea.
That's how
not funny at all.
No, that's how Officer Tatum says that word. That's how he says it. I've taken it. I like it. Sugar honey iced tea.
The curse word. I got it.
Yeah.
Sugar honey iced tea. That's funny. That's funny. Thank you. Thank you for the super chats. I appreciate it. You got 2 of them in here. Thanks for the support, Tammy. Steph, be like, hey, Zach, glad to see Colin on here. Bless you both. I'm glad to see Colin on here as well.
Let's do it.
All right, a few more here, guys. Lawyer representing B. Harple is adding Candace, trying to get punitive damages. That's
interesting. I'm trying to find it. I was trying to look it up as soon as I heard that. I can't find anything quite yet. Nothing on X, nothing on Google quite yet. So maybe we have to wait for that. Or maybe Candace will talk about it when she goes live today.
Yeah, maybe. Everyone with the following, please tell Erica to sit down and zip it and go home to your precious kids and stay safe. I feel like I've been doing my part. I feel like Coach Colin has too.
I think everybody did that collectively. Like month one of her being a CEO, I think everybody did that.
Right.
I'm pretty sure.
August 6th on Megyn Kelly Show, Charlie Kirk said, "I'm writing a book about the Shabbat, venting after the Hamptons." Erica said it was finished June, July. Liar. That's interesting. Those timelines are interesting.
I didn't know that.
Me neither. I'll have to go back and
look at that.
Always be true. Can you shoot me the emails of those clips and timestamps that you're mentioning here? That's interesting. Thank you for that.
Very interesting.
I saw the video of Charlie saying he wanted Erica to take over if something happened to him.
Did you?
Wait, you saw the video of this?
Yeah.
You saw this video?
Send it.
This is shocking information.
This is Blake's burner account that's talking to you right now.
Send it, please. Please. We would love this information. We'd love to be wrong.
This person, you're gonna ask for the video and they're gonna be like, no, I'm not giving it to you. You're a maniac.
Yeah, tips at ZachCostello.com. Send it to me. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it. And if you're talking about the video with the voiceover, that's not the video.
Yeah,
we know, we understand what it's about. We will need the actual video of it coming out of Charlie's mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I also have video of Charlie saying that Baron Coleman should be the next CEO of Turning Point USA.
Well, that's real. That's actually real. He's running the ship right now, and he's doing a great job. He's doing a bang up job.
After I talked about him on your show, Coach, security followed me around the church before we walked out on Easter when he brought Philly up.
There you go.
There you go.
Interesting. I mean, can't tell you where to go, for your service, but I mean, maybe go to a place where they don't follow you around after you.
Maybe go to not that place. Maybe go to not that place.
I don't know.
AMVs with facts and dossiers for anyone interested here and on X. Stay true, fellas.
Official Fetty slop.
Thank you. Mortal Kombat Ultra, Tatum Slam, Fatality, aka Mountain Evidence Slam. That's I feel like that's you.
Yeah.
I was laughing at that when I was watching your show. I saw Brandon Tatum, he runs up a mountain of evidence.
Yeah, he runs up a mountain of evidence, body slams you off the mountain of evidence because it's so tall. It's so tall, so it's such a crazy fall on the way down,
Last one here. Susan Greene is the Daily Mail writer per Anna Kasparian. Is Susan? Yeah, I thought that Susan Greene wasn't the one that spoke with her though. I don't know.
Maybe that's
I'll look at that name.
Maybe Anna just said that.
Maybe.
Interesting.
Dang it. Anna beat me to it.
That's all good.
It's all good. All right. Hey, guys, that's going to be it for today. Coach Colin, thank you so much for joining us. I thoroughly enjoyed the co-hosting today with you. I'll let you have the last word. Let everyone know where to find you, and I'll make sure that the links to everything you have are down there.
It's all just I am Coach Colin. That's it. You'll find me doing a show Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. EST, 9 a.m. CST to 1 p.m. EST, noon CST, and a couple of videos on the weekend, and maybe even a couple of videos during the night as well. We're pushing real hard right now. Clip channel, Clip channel is Coach Colin Clips, and we're on Spotify. I'm monetized on Spotify. That's a great place as well. If you prefer to watch the show there, it is there for your taking in. So that's about it. And soon I'll be streaming on Kick. Soon enough. I'm gonna do a thing where I read the files, the JE files. I'm just gonna do a thing where I just read them for like an hour, and just not let that case go like so many have. Dedicated to Ian Carroll because I'm gonna be using web to do it.
There you go. Yeah, that'll be good.
I paid for the best package on web, so I have all the tokens. His guy walked me through how I can actually just access each one of the files and just go through it one by one. And I'm going to do that. A little dedication to Ian there while he's off doing his thing.
Cool. Well, that'll be awesome. I'll make sure that I'll check that out as well. Everyone else do the same.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you all for joining us today. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Zach Costello, Coach Colin. We're out.